Welcome, everyone, to Watson Stadium. Sound check here for Hobbs Eagle football Halloween edition tonight. Your Eagles' final regular season game at home against Carlsbad. Playoff implications: Eagles currently in the top 4 in the state. They have a 1-4 seed. They will have no playoff game next week with a bye. The following week would probably be, would be a home game. But right now, tonight, Eagles have got to win this ball game to move on to get that bye next week. They will have the pairings on Sunday morning from the New Mexico Activities Association. Both teams should be in the playoffs for sure. Carlsbad is hovering on the 9th and 10th spot in the Max Preps poll. But even with their loss tonight, they should sneak their way in. So they do have a little bit of incentive, though, to keep their seed up as much as they can with the win tonight. It also kind of throws a logjam into the division race here in the conference, the district. Of course, Las Cruces is going to be number 1 regardless, but there's kind of a battle going on with Centennial, Carlsbad, and Hobbs. If Centennial could upset Las Cruces tonight, that would really open up some things. And also, if Carlsbad knocks off Hobbs, that can open up some things too. So there's a lot of things we'll discuss throughout the night in terms of the playoffs, but let's get right back to the facts, Sovereign. I think this is a must-win game if you want to keep a top 4 seed.
Most definitely. You want to be able to keep that top 4 seed, and one thing about this, you want to be able to keep yourself where you know it is safe and where it's best for you and the team. And so, man, Hobbs going to have to come out with their heads on their shoulders so they can be able to keep that. Because, you know, even though Carlsbad is still being in the playoffs, whether, you know, win or lose, but they still want to be able to come and play hard. And so I'm ready to see a great game tonight. And you know what? This is going to be football, and I'm ready to see football.
We're going to be ready for that game here in just a few minutes of the pregame show. Right now, just doing a sound check on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We're just a few minutes away from that pregame show. Ty Friend and Sovereign Anthony with you. Stay with us on the internet and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Welcome, everyone, to Watson Stadium. It's time for Hobbs Eagle football. Live on the radio at Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, the YouTube Hobbs Sports page, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty France, Sovereign Anthony with you tonight. The final regular season game, and luckily at home. Very critical contest as the Hobbs Eagles take on Carlsbad. Of course, the Eagles currently ranked, been in the top 4 for the last few weeks. Kind of been hovering 3 and 4. Looks like Max Preps has them stuck at 4 for some reason after beating Centennial already once this year. So that's kind of a question mark. Carlsbad between 9 and 12 throughout the season, and they look like they'll make it to the playoffs as well. But really the big thing about this game tonight, Sovereign, is the fact that the Eagles win. They're going to probably be one of the top 4 seeds, more likely 3 or 4, which gets them a bye next week. So very critical game for the Eagles. Also pretty pivotal for the Carlsbad Cavemen because they're going to make the playoffs, but they like to have a higher seed than they might have right now.
Yes, most definitely. And that right there is going to cause Carlsbad to come out here and want to play tonight. But again, Hobbs want to be able to keep that ranking up there for them. You want to be in the top 4. You just want to stay there, because not only that shows that you're good, it shows and prove that you are a good team, but it shows that, man, you are keeping it solid, you are keeping it firm, you're ready to keep it going, you're ready to stay strong and keep it there. And that's what you want to happen tonight. And again, Hobbs want to come out and play, but Carlsbad is coming out to play too as well. And I believe, man, this can be a game of the night.
And speaking of games, last Thursday night in Las Cruces, Eagles were up 30-0 at halftime over the night team, of course, Oregon Mountain in Las Cruces. 30-0 to score, actually 30-6. Eagles outscored them 21-6 in the second half. Final was 51-12. That was the 6th game of the season that Junior Medrano has rushed for over 100 yards in that one, 148. And so he's doing some great things on the ground. He has good in terms of field sense, look down the field, use his blockers, maybe throw on the run if he has to. But this kid has got everything going for him. If he gets his 7th 100 rushing yard game tonight, he is going to keep moving up the charts. Right now, he has 2,640 total offensive yards on the season. He needs 19 more, any type of offensive yards, whether pass or run, to go to 7th place on the all-time offensive yard list, and that would knock off Colton Graham, a big name from Hobbs Eagle football of years past. He needs 100 yards rushing to get into 5th place, which would basically mean that he has had 7 100-yard games this season. So going into that 5th place spot, he'd take out Eddie Jackson. That's a record that goes back 20 years to 2005. So rushing numbers could help him out tonight to move up the charts, and also overall average or overall yardage in terms of passing and rushing.
Man, so it seems like, man, it can be a lot of records being broken tonight, and that's what you want to see. And might as well, it being the last game of the season, you want to go ahead and put that cherry on top and go ahead and break some records. And I'm ready to see that, man, because I've been seeing improvement from those players right there, especially Medrano too as well. And, man, it's just been a great season for him. So I'm ready to see some great things tonight too as well.
He also could get 73 yards rushing tonight, which put him in 7th place for single-season rushing yards. Just 39 gets him into the 8th slot, and that would knock off Jeremy Padilla back in 2015. That's 10 years ago, so that's a decade-long placement there in that 8th place. Roy Gomez is the guy that has the 7th spot. But 73 yards, heck, that's a grain to him because we've seen Medrano with these 100-plus yard games. Could be number 7 tonight. He definitely knows how to get up the football and take some hits, too.
Hey, man, Medrano is a player, man, and I'm ready to see some great things from him tonight. Man, definitely I'm ready to see both sides of the game, and, man, Carlsbad going to have to be ready for Medrano because Medrano is a player that, hey, if he don't throw the ball, you might want to break down, you might want to buckle up because he will be coming your way and he will be running up the field, and that's what I'm ready to see by him tonight.
Of course, the Eagles have had some other threats this season in terms of the passing game. Lots of receivers getting a chance to catch a ball last game and Thursday. Not a lot of tons of receptions, but at least 2 apiece for quite a few. Adrian Mora, 2 for 87 in that game. He really was a distance guy in terms of numbers. His long was 77, so the other one he had for 10 yards. But not a lot of multiple catches, but 10 for 154 in the air. Eagles didn't need a lot of rushes because they had 318 on the ground. Of course, you remember we'd already said Medrano, but you had 89 from Seamus Wright running the football as well, and Hill had 37. So many offensive threats. Defensive coordinators for the opposition always kind of trying to figure out what the Eagles might run on that play.
Yes, most definitely, and I'm ready to see I'm ready to see them put up them same numbers or even better tonight up on this team here, and because, I mean, if you can do that same exact thing, I'm telling you, man, they will have a great game tonight, and there's no doubt in my mind that they will still stay in the top 4.
Eagles doing a good job defensively, too. Of course, they only allowed 6 points in the first half. They had 6 tackles for loss in that ball game. Devin Ruiz, the linebacker, he led the team with 11. We've had some issues. Aiden Gloom going down with the injury against Clovis in the first quarter. He's out for the year with an ACL. Devin McPherson, the linebacker, he's been out a game and a half or so. He's got the shoulder injury. Big question mark whether he steps onto the field. But we've seen kids like Blackman, the sophomore, Caleb Blackman linebacker. He had that double-digit tackles against Clovis after he had to come in as a sub. 12 tackles in that game to lead the team. He wasn't the leader. Ruiz was against the team up on Organ Mountain in Las Cruces. But we got to see all these linebackers coming together, helping each other out. Of course, you have some great help in that secondary. Javen Hernandez, one of the leaders in terms of tackles on the season. And he's just a guy that you got to be worried about no matter where you are in the field. He's like one of those magnets that's going to come at you. We should mention about Javen, too. He has 189 tackles for his career right now, which is 8th on the all-time tackles list. He needs 19 through the rest of the season to go to 7th place on the list, would knock off Roderick Sanders in that category. So love to see him pick up some of those big tackles tonight in double digits.
Yes, most definitely. I'm ready to see some records being broken, man. I'm ready to see that. I love that. It shows great improvement. And, again, I'm ready to see the defense step up because we know that, man, Carlsbad got a good offense, and we need the defense to be able to buckle down and be able to be better than what they did all the previous game before coming up to this last game. And so, man, again, like you said, we have some young bucks come in the game and step up and play like they was a senior tonight, you know. And, I mean, I'm ready to see them do some great things tonight.
Caleb Blackman, who I just mentioned, had 9 tackles against Organ Mountain. And a guy that you've been talking big about, Adrian Moore, who plays both sides of the football, he had 9 tackles too. Also plays some receiver, plays deep in the secondary, and he has to catch his breath once in a while because they can use him in pivotal spots no matter O or D.
Yes, man, I'm telling you, he's an all-around player. You got to love Adrian Morrow because coming out here tonight, you know, he got a great record of, you know, with a punt return. And so, man, like you saying, you can hear his name all around the field. And so I'm ready to see some great and wonderful things by him tonight.
Of course, we've had some good showings on defense for Jeremiah Mackey, the defensive lineman. 8.5 sacks this season. He is second on the team right now with 88 tackles, 3 behind Gavin McPherson, the linebacker. But the big thing about this one is 1 sack tonight, and that's a single-season record for Jeremiah Mackey. And he's a big kid, but he can get through the line and get some penetration on the offense.
Oh, man. Mackey is one of those players, man, that you don't want to come into his perimeter because coming into his perimeter or him coming at you, man, it just scares him. And it being a Halloween night, man, I hope he makes something scary tonight and makes something spooky tonight while getting in there and putting the pressure on the quarterback.
You got to like our team's penetration this year. 18 sacks as a team. We mentioned the 8.5 for Jeremiah Mackey, but also Aaron Wheeler coming on that defensive end position. He's got 4 sacks. He likes to take people down hard. But you got Gavin McPherson, who's got 91 tackles to lead the team. We mentioned Mackey with 88, Moore with 84, and also Robert Garcia. We didn't mention him, a defensive back. He has 80. It's nice to see those guys 80-plus in tackles on the leaderboard for our defense.
Yes, most definitely, man. Wheeler, man, I've been seeing him all season, man. He's been going in there, rushing in, putting the quarterback in a pressurable moment. And that's what I like about Wheeler, man. He'll throw you down, wrap you up, throw you behind the field, you know, be able to ball you up, man. He's just doing a little bit of everything, you know. So I really love it, man. I'm just ready to see some good football and some great defense.
And do you think some of these offenses have looked the other way when they see Mike Meredith? I mean, 6'2", 330 pounds on the defensive line. He ain't coming through the line, but he is. I mean, he's got 73 tackles, and he is currently ranked 6th on the team.
Man, that's dangerous right there, man, because Mike Meredith, man, for his size to be able to move the way he moved, man, you might as well call him, you know, a skill player too as well, man.
Right.
He's moving his feet well, man, for that size. Man, you cannot beat that, man. A heck of a player out there. So, hey, they better watch out because Mike Meredith will get in there.
Well, last week, Carlsbad hosted Las Cruces. Only lost by 25. That sounds like a big number, but it was 53-28. So they did score 28 points. They were down 25-0 in the first quarter. Now, I don't know if Las Cruces started putting in the second and third string there, but we did see Carlsbad get at least 7 points by halftime. They were down 39-7. Carlsbad got 21 in the fourth quarter, only 14 in the second half for Las Cruces. So I think those 3 touchdowns in the fourth might have been against third or fourth stringers for Las Cruces. But 28 points, nothing to sneeze at. In terms of the passing game, Carlsbad kind of low on those numbers, 115 yards. But they did manage to get 225 yards, or 229 on the ground. So that's somewhat decent for the squad. But they're really going to have to bring it big in this game because, like we said before, a lot on the line to keep your playoff spot a little bit higher than what it is now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And so hopefully they have that within their head or within their heart to know to be able to come out and play. But again, man, it's for our defense to be able to break down tonight, Hobbs defense, because them having that much on the ground, it looks like they can kind of move up the field a little bit, just kind of move around and make sure to get up the field. And so, hey, hopefully they bring their game, but, man, there's going to be a game tonight.
Hobbs Eagles against the Carlsbad Cavemen, the final regular season game. And if you look at the comparison numbers, Hobbs with 2,743 rushing yards. That's 31 touchdowns so far. Only 1,603 for Carlsbad with 15 touchdowns. So the Eagles have doubled their production in scoring on the ground and really completely eclipsed them on the rushing attack as well. Madrano with 1,199 yards. He's got 12 touchdowns out of the 19 on the ground so far, out of the 31 on the ground so far, so he's getting kind of close to half of the rushing touchdowns. DeMarcus Hill, 693 yards. Seamus Wright, 518 yards. And Hill and Wright have been out several games because of injuries too, but still they're better than quite a few teams around the state in terms of rushers.
Yes, most definitely, man. There's some great rushing backs and great in the backfield, and they can get up the field too as well. And I'm ready to see some great runs by them and ready for them to put some yards on the field tonight.
Rushing numbers for Carlsbad at 1,603, 15 rushing touchdowns. Brock Wright is their leading rusher with 9 TDs out of the 15 that they've got so far. He averages about 99 yards a game, so just shy of the century mark, and about 6.2 yards a pop, too. So he definitely's got some wheels. Marley Munoz will get the ball several times as well, 535 yards on the ground and 3 touchdowns. So that's basically where they're sitting on the rushing game. It's going to be Brock Wright mostly to look at. And this is a team that we're not seeing the quarterback being the dominant rusher like several teams Eagles have played D against this season.
Yes, most definitely. And like you said, man, a lot of previous games we've seen a lot of quarterbacks do, most of the work on a team. But I guess, man, it's the running back they got to be able to look for. So I'm ready to see something.
National anthem starting here at Watson Stadium. Hobbs versus Carlsbad. Come back with you in 90 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Watson Stadium. Ty Friend, Sovereign Anthony with you as the Hobbs Eagles get ready to take on Carlsbad, the final regular season game here at home. Playoffs start next week, and Eagles vying for a bye in that first round. Hopefully get to have a little bit of rest and get ready for the second week where they would be a home team for that second round of the playoffs. Of course, all the pairings will be decided Sunday morning, will be announced to see what the Eagles' situation will be. And currently, like as we mentioned, the Max Preps Bowl currently at 4th. Carlsbad been about 9th and 10th throughout much of this last part of the season, so they're looking to even up and move up on that scale just a little bit more if they can get a win here tonight. Second place in the district is on the line, too, which could be a big factor as well. Right before the break, we were talking about the Eagles' dominance on the running game, 2-7-4-3 to 1-6-0-3 for Carlsbad. Carlsbad. 31 touchdowns on the ground for the Eagles and 15 for Carlsbad. Passing department, the Eagles have 1,510 versus 1,390 for Carlsbad, so they win in that category as well. Leading receiver for the Eagles, Braddock Beatty, 486 yards and leading with 8 touchdowns, 14.3 yards a pop on his receptions. Justice French, 400 yards catching, 12 per pop and 4 touchdowns for him. And Adrian Moore, 193 yards with 2 touchdowns as well. So 3 good receivers and some other ones to add some complement to those numbers. 19 touchdowns in the air for the Eagles. Carlsbad has 1,390 yards with 12 touchdowns. They got one standout receiver. That's Robert Castaneda, 850 yards, 19.8 yards a catch, and also 94 yards a game. He leads the team. 11 out of the 12 passing touchdowns are on the receptions for Carlsbad. So you're going to have a big target on Robert Castaneda and watch him all over the place. He lines up talking to the coaching staff for the Eagles, so he'll line up in the backfield, line up as a receiver, slot back. It doesn't matter. He's going to go out for a pass.
Wow, so he's kind of like all around. And so that's something the defense got to keep their eye on too, especially with a player like that, a player that, a coach loves to use a lot, especially around all over the area on offense. So, I heard good things about him, great things about him, man, that he's a great player. And so, man, you just going to have to come on and be able to break down as a defensive player.
Got to watch out for linebacker Colton McKibben for the Cavemen. 15 Division I programs have offered him a chance to play. He's just a junior. We'll talk a little bit about him. In fact, teams like Michigan, TCU, Texas Tech, Washington, Nebraska, the list goes on and on. Definitely a tough guy. Hobbs Eagle rushing game, better be ready for him and get some blocks on that O-line. Will definitely help out the cause. Eagles kicking off. It will be Braddock Beatty. He'll keep it down to the 15 off the bounce. Picked up on the hop, up the right hash 20, across to the left to the 25, 30, and brought down just shy of the 30-yard line to the near left sideline. That's the return man for Carlsbad. It's Colton McKibben, the guy we just talked about. You will see him on special teams. That's another thing coaching staff said. McKibben is very damaging in terms of the extra teams like we just saw there. So some halfway decent field position for the Cavemen. They'll start 1st and 10 from the 31. Cavemen 5-4 on the season, 3-2 in district. Eagles at 7-2 and 4-1 in district. One game ahead of the Cavemen for this final regular season game. Carlsbad wearing the white uniforms, the dark blue numbers. Eagles in their home blacks with gold numbers, black helmets and black pants. The quarterback is Marley Munoz, second leading rusher. Twins right, receiver left. Go with the split formation backfield. Go with the handoff from left to right. No, the fake. Munoz go around the left end. Instead, the quarterback 30, 35, 40. Trying to push the Eagles' wall. It takes 6 defenders to knock him out of bounds after a first down pickup. Looks like he's going to get about 12 on the play. Great fake to the right, and then he came around the left end, the QB keeper.
Yes, man. So it seems like they may be doing a little faking tonight, and they see they have 2 in the backfield. So hopefully that the defense can keep their eyes on the swivel and be able to watch that and be able to see where the players go.
So Munoz quickly with 12 yards, first down of the ball game at the 45. Make it the 44. Shotgun. This time they'll give it around the right end, heading far right to the 45, to the 50, to the sideline. 45 of the Eagles and tiptoes out of bounds. That will be a total of 12 once again. This time it was given to Castaneda. We mentioned he's a receiver, but he also plays out of that backfield too. That time he just got the handoff from left to right around the right end.
Yes, man, and he runs pretty good. A smart player too as well, knowing how to run out of bounds, knowing when to cut in, knowing when to go out and everything. And so, man, heck of a smart player.
Yeah, that Eagle's going to have to get some outside angles to shove them into the inside so we get some linebacker help there. 1st and 10 for Carlsbad. Quick offense on the 44 here. Twins left, receivers to the right. Shotgun for Marley. He's going to run around the right end himself. Across the original line of scrimmage. Gets spun around in front of the Carlsbad bench. I don't think he got very much on that one. Maybe some forward progress. The Eagles weren't going to get fooled around the end that time.
Yes, man, and I seen that it was one of the defensive end, I believe, that got him by the collar and kind of broke him down. But the one thing you want to be, cautious about that, you don't want the refs to be able to see a horse collar,
right,
because they can easily be a call.
Amron Wheeler, they give the tackle to on that one. No gain on the play for Munoz. Marley Munoz is his name, and it's a 2nd down and 10 now from the Eagle 44 on the right hash. Eagles are load 4 in the box. Twins left on the receiving core for Carlsbad, one to the right side. Back to shotgun goes Munoz. Taking a lot of time here as a running back on his left. Gives it up the middle. Angle right and trying to dive towards the 40-yard line. That will be right for the Cavemen. That's a key. Actually, I double-check that number there. Number 27. That is Brock Wright, their top rusher for the season. So he's up ahead. Looks like going to give him about 3 yards on that one. So right now make it 3rd down and 7 from the Eagle 41.5-yard line. Twins left, receiver right. Back to the split formation backfield. Bring one running back in motion to the left side. Back to pass. Munoz fires a post route to the 30, and that'll be another 1st down. 12-yard pickup. Another 1st down, 3 of them now. So definitely a bullet throw there for the 1st.
Yes, man, it was a great throw by the quarterback, and as a defensive linebacker, you want to make sure to kind of be in that zone, to kind of be able to see plays like that right in your perimeter.
Trying to double-check that number there. Originally thought it was that Castaneda kid, but I think somebody else peeked in there at the last second. So we'll give that to Castaneda after a 12-yard pickup. 3 first downs now at the 30, making the 29 of the Eagles. Got a pitch around the left end to the 35, heading to the near sideline, 30, 25, cutting to the left hash of the 20, and then buried after about a 7-yard pickup. And, boy, you saw a drill shot there for the Eagles, putting the head down. Javen Hernandez out of that safety position on the near left side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. But you got to love the aggressiveness, not for Hobbs fans, but for Carlsbad. They're really coming hard at the Eagles. That's an 8-yard pickup.
Yes, man, they come in with their heads on, and hopefully, man, the defense is picking up on that. But, great way to step up as a safety to be able to make that play right there. But, hey, like you said, they're moving up the field.
So that'll be an 8-yard pickup for Harper. It's going to be a 2nd and 2 situation now from the Eagle 21. Twins right and left, one receiver. Split formation. Shotgun. Munoz fakes a handoff. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Tries to plow through the hole. But the Eagles going to say, no way. We're going to come at you with 4 or 5 on that one. Munoz gets maybe no yards on the play, depending on how they mark his knee on that one, and slammed down hard to the turf by the front line of the Eagles. Of course, that was Mike Meredith.
Yes, man, I'm telling you again, hey, when you run up the middle like that and you in Mike Meredith's house, man, he's going to end up pulling you back. So sometimes you do not want to do that.
2nd, make it 3rd down and 2 now for the Eagles at the 21, or make it for the Cavemen at the Eagles 21. Pair of receivers right and left. In the split formation, shotgun Munoz right up the middle again, 20, and gets spun around, still moving the pile to the 15-yard line. And that'll be 4 yards for the quarterback. He's had 4 carries for 16, 4 a pop, and already the 4th first down on this first drive for the Cavemen. Knocking at the Eagle door in the red zone.
Yes, man, they're moving up the field. And remember, like I always say, what a coach told me, too many first down can end up a touchdown. So you want to be able to stop them, be able to make a play as a defensive player where they do not get up the field anymore.
Right now they've had a total of 7 plays, or make it 8 plays, 7 of those rushes, 1 a pass for 12. 1 receiver left, 2 right, back in shotgun. Munoz, 2-step drop. He wants to fire the slant, and the catch made at the 10-yard line. That'll be a 5-yard pickup. As coming back to come to the football was Castaneda. 2 catches for 17 now. They're 2 for 2 for 17, both to Castaneda. Brings up a 2nd down and long 3 for the K-Men at the Eagle 11-yard line on the right hash.
And you want to make sure to stop players like that, especially as a corner. Especially when he's the highlight of the team, you want to make sure to put some pressure on him, let him know that, hey, I'm right here, where it kind of makes him, not know what to do.
Yeah, he was 50 yards shy of 900 coming into this game. Already has 17 of that so far. 2nd down and 4. From the Eagle 9-yard line. They can get to first at the 5. Shotgun, little option left, coming around the left side to the 10. Stutter step, putting his head down and drilling hard to the ground to the 8. Not much on that one. Maybe 1 yard on the pickup for Wright. He's got 2 carries for 5. Eagles just shut down that left side, and getting there first to shut the angle down, Amron Wheeler, the defensive end.
Yes, man, and great help by Morrow, too, man. That's what you want to do as a defensive team. You want to be able to have that help defense, and that help defense can be able to bring the opponent down.
Going to bring up a 3rd down and 2. Critical play for Carlsbad. I think they want to get this thing in the end zone. Don't want to settle for a field goal attempt. Getting kind of close for field goals, too. When you're getting close to that goal line, your kick is a little bit different than what you did from a little bit farther back. Twins right, receiver left, 3rd down and 2. From the 8-yard line of the Eagles, shotgun. Munoz fakes. He's going to go up the middle. Back it into the first down to the 5 and keeps the scrum pile moving. And he had to get to the 6, so he's well beyond that. About a 4-yard pickup for Munoz. The good backpedal there for his first down. That's the 5th in the series here for Carlsbad. They've had 5 carries for 20 yards, 4 a pop there for Munoz. Now at the Eagle 4-yard line.
Yes, man, and you don't want to let them get too close to the red zone. You want to be able to make a stop at plays like this.
Only 2 of their plays so far have been passes and look like they're happy with that. Receiver left and right, 1 each, and a slot right. Split in the backfield. 3 players back. In the middle is the quarterback, Munoz. Gets a high snap, able to hold on to it. Crossing handoff to the right-left and trying to pull down a few people with him. With kind of a delay on that handoff because the snap was so high. And Wright's not going to get much. In fact, he might just stay at the line of scrimmage there as he tried to drag some guys on his back forward. Not getting much. And he's back, it looks like, maybe at the 5. Loss of 1 for Wright. His first minus run of the game. He's 3-4-4 at this point. Clock running here in the first quarter. 5:08. Long movement of this series for Carlsbad. They've had 12 plays, 10 of those in the rushing game. Second down and goal now from the 5 on the left hash for the Cavemen, knocking at the Eagles' door here in the first quarter. Twins right, receiver left, also a slot right. Shotgun, Munoz going to roll right after a 4-step drop. He wants to throw. The out route thrown low to the goal line. They're not going to get across that goal line. Nice diving catch. Eagle cornerback was trying to dive for it himself to get the pick off there. It would have been a nice slide for the INT, but just could not come underneath it.
Yes.
Wait, go ahead.
But it seemed like he caught the ball, though. They kind of moved it up a little bit, so it was a great catch by the receiver on Carlsbad.
Boy, it's hard to see these Carlsbad numbers on that far right sideline. That is a 4-yard catch regardless. 3 for 3 in the passing game. It'll be a 3rd and goal from the 1. Shotgun to Munoz. Gives the ball to Wright. Heads to the right side of the line, and he's going to crash through for the score. Wright scores first for the Cavemen with a 1-yard run. And Carlsbad up 6-0 here in the first quarter, taking a lot of clock with them. Almost 8 minutes of time on that first drive and 5 first downs.
And like you said, man, they came out here ready to play tonight. You know, no lollygagging, no, lollipops, candy treats, anything like that. They came out here ready to play. So hopefully the defense and the offense can come out and rebuttal it.
Leonard Ananians, the cornerback, should be doing the kicking here for the Cavemen. High snap, get it down in time. The kick is up. And the kick is good just inside the left upright. 4:14 here on the first quarter clock. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing 7-0 to Carlsbad. We'll come back in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Hobbs Eagles trail 7-0 after a 1-yard run for Caleb Wright for the Cavemen. And Carlsbad taking a little time to break their huddle here in the special teams, the kickoff squad. They ran a lot of clock down there, almost 8 minutes off that clock on those 5 first downs and the scoring drive to the 1-yard line for the go-ahead for Wright. So the Eagles going to get that offense fired up and get them into the end zone to get this thing back in business.
Yes, most definitely. Made the offense come out here and be able to move up the field and be able to get first down. You come out here and play because Carlsbad already proved it that they're ready to play, so made the offense show them that they're ready to play also.
Carlsbad taking a lot of time right now. The kicker is counting his huddle to make sure he's got enough players out there. Lennon Avnanians taking as much time as he can here to make sure the team is ready to do some coverage against the Eagles. Of course, the final regular season game. A lot of other teams playing tonight. And there's some pivotal games as well. I know La Cueva, who's just hovering in that top 8 or so, they've got their final game against Cibola. I believe that's tomorrow, actually, though. That's a big team to watch to see where their pairings might be. Here comes the kickoff, and it's going to be a long one. End over end, back to the 2-yard line, cut up the middle. 10, they go with the starburst. Hand off to the left side, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, far left, 45, 50, into Carlsbad territory. Was that Justice French? He's going from the 10 all the way down to the 45 in the Carlsbad side of the field. So we're talking about 50 plus, maybe 53 on that one, depending on the spot. That's where you get everybody pumped up here at Watson Stadium.
Yes, that's how you do it right there. And we know French is known for having them returns and be able to get up the field, so that's good.
They're going to give him 45 on the return, so French doing a great job there to get the Eagles in very good field position at the 45 of Carlsbad on the left hash. But they do trail 7-0 with 4:02 left first quarter. One receiver left, one right for the Eagles. Shotgun coming for Medrano. He has the split formation. Give the handoff around the left end. Breaking out Seamus Wright, 40, 35, gets the first down, and 12. And, boy, we're starting to see carbon copies of these two teams looking like they'll do that outside running game a little bit.
Yes, man, this is an intense game that you want to see tonight. This is football, man, a great run by Seamus.
5 first downs for Carlsbad on their first drive. Eagles already have their first one off the first run from Wright. They're at Carlsbad's 33-yard line. Receiver left and right, shotgun again on this split formation. Got to go with the handoff, a spin move at the 35, head to the 30 right side, trying to cut it back, and that's not going to be much there. Maybe 2 or 3, depending on the forward progress. And that was Wright again, heading to the right side this time.
Oh, man, great spin move, man. You want to be able to use your skills out there, and that's what you see from Seamus. Seamus is more of a, skill, moving type, spin, cut up type of running back, and that's what you're going to get from him tonight.
2 carries for 15, 7.5 yards a pop so far on the 2 first plays for the Eagles at the 30. Going to be 2nd down and 7, middle of the field here in Carlsbad territory. Carlsbad loading up the box. They got 5 there. Going to be a shotgun to Medrano. He takes it underneath his right bicep to the near sideline right, 30, and gets drilled out about the 28, so about 2 on the net gain there in front of the Carlsbad bench as he was chased out of bounds by the Cavemen defense. A couple of guys out there, but first contact made by Trey Barta, the linebacker, the sophomore. So 2 yards. Oh, we got a face mask tack on. Unfortunately, that's not the full 15 because that was inside the 30, so I believe it'll be half the distance. We'll see how they mark this one after a 2-yard pickup. So definitely a good sign there for the Eagles to move it up even more.
Yes, man, and I know the defense knowing that, hey, that's a guy we got to watch out for. Medrano always run the ball good, so keeping their eyes on him, man, I know it's something that they already enlightened on.
Let's see how many yards they're going to give. Was that the 28? So about a 14-yard penalty after it's all said and done, half the distance against Carlsbad. First penalty of the ball game. Eagles have their second first down on this series. They're at the Carlsbad 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Receiver left and right. Eagles all pull out of the offensive call and look over to Coach Stevens on the near sideline on the right. Possibly an audible call here, maybe not. Split formation, shotgun to Medrano. Going to hand off up the middle, break across the 15, and meets a wall. Tried to get to the 10 that time with Seamus. And I think he's going to get about 3, maybe 4. So Hobbs still knocking inside that red zone after they do give him 3 yards on that one. So right now with 3 carries for 18, 6 yards a pop, or was that Hill that time? Yeah, they've got Hill moved into this spot there. That's his first carry for 3. Definitely love to have those bookends in the ballgame along with their quarterback, Medrano. Mentioned their big-time numbers this season. Medrano, 1,199 rushing, Hill at 693, and Wright at 518. Love to have those numbers in the playoffs, too. 2nd down and 7 from the 12 of the Cavemen. Right hash, shotgun Medrano. He'll give it off to right, angle left 10, 5 into the end zone, touchdown. That's how you get ready to even up a ball game here at Watson Stadium. 6 points on the board for Seamus Wright. That time he just got off to that left side of the line, so a big gap over there, and took care of business as he gets out for, 13 yards for the touchdown.
Hey, great run and great touchdown by Seamus, and great play by the coach, man. That's how you want to get into the end zone.
So Seamus with 2 double-digit runs on that series. He's got 4 carries now for 31. As we wait Braddock Beatty's PAT. The kick is up, and the kick is good. We'll give you some information about Braddock Beatty as he continues to move up the charts for PATs for a career. But your Eagles, more importantly, Sovereign, 7-7 here in the first quarter. A barn burner against Carlsbad. It's all knotted up here at Watson Stadium. Final regular season game, 7-7 as your Hobbs Eagles just tied it up after a 13-yard run for Seamus Wright. He's got 4 carries now for 31 yards. And a sigh of relief from the Hobbs Eagle fans that are here for Halloween night. I bet we're going to have a lot of late arrivers at halftime after the trick-or-treating is done. Kickoff here for Braddock Beatty. He'll sail it down to the 20. It bounces off a return man at the 21. He's trying to get up the far right sideline. He's able to get out for maybe 2 yards on the play. Came off, looked like his shoulder pad. That was R.J. Hernandez, a wide receiver for Carlsbad. And even if he would have fumbled out of bounds, they would have retained possession, but that's not a way you want to do it after you were ahead 7-zip. Now the Eagles got a little bit of momentum shift.
Yeah, most definitely. They want to be able to come out with that same momentum because I know that the offense gave that defense that fire to know what, hey, let's come out here and let's play some great football. Let's get our head in the game. So, hey, man, the defense may come out here and make some great plays.
Pretty consistent to start it for Carlsbad with those 5 first downs. They had 3 plays in the passing department for 21 yards. But Castaneda ran it for 12 on one run. Munoz had another run for 12 for Carlsbad. They'll have it to start at their 24. Shotgun to Munoz. Hands around the right end to right. Tries to extend it to the right sideline, but he's brought down in the backfield. He'll lose about a yard. Didn't even get back to line of scrimmage. Eagles reacting quickly from that line. And if I'm seeing that big number 90, I think that is the number of that far sideline. You know who that is, right? Mike Meredith. 6'2", 330. He's going to put some poundage on you, make you pay.
And you would think, man, with a guy that size, how did he get over there so quick? But, hey, we're talking about Meredith now. He know how to move just like a skilled player for his size. So, man, great play by Meredith.
Well, Wright does have a 1-yard touchdown run for Carlsbad on their first series, but his numbers aren't doing so great. Make it 4 yards on 5 carries. Second down and 11 now for the 24. Or make it the 23. Fake the handoff. Munoz getting chased. He's going down in the backfield. Big loss on that play. Want to see who that is in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of about 6 or 7. That's Mackey. That was the sack he needed. He had 8.5. Now he's got 9.5. That is a single season record for a Hobbs Eagle right there on that big sack for Mackey. Exciting stuff.
Wow.
-9, by the way, for the quarterback.
Oh, man. Way to come out here and break a record. That's what you want to do. I'm ready to see some cherries on tops tonight, and that's what I'm seeing already.
-9 makes it a long shot here. Third down for Carlsbad. 3rd and 20 as they will actually. It's at the 15-yard line, 3rd and 20. Trips left, receiver right, shotgun to Munoz, 3-step drop, flushed out of the pocket to the right side, throws it on the run. It's batted in the air, intercepted by the Eagles at the 25. Around the left hash, up the sideline 10, and run out of bounds. We'll double check on that one to see who got the INT on that far sideline. Bear with us here, very hard to see underneath the lights, but a nice pickup. Was a deflection by an Eagle that time. I believe that's Devin Ruiz down there, as he's the man that picks it off, the linebacker. He was out in the flat and got a tip to him, actually. So the first turnover of the game, that's definitely not what Carlsbad wants to see after leading early 7-0. That was their first incomplete, making an INT. But Hobbs now in the red zone already, and what a turn of events here in just a couple of minutes, Sovereign. Eagles have it at the 8 of the Cavemen on the left hash.
Man, I told you, man, the offense gave that defense that fire. Now, look, it's offense time.
Single receivers left and right. Shotgun on the split formation for Munoz. Or Medrano, excuse me. Hand around the left end and going down hard is right. Got pulled down from behind. And he's getting close. Excuse me as I look at the line. So we got all those soccer goalie boxes marked as well. I think that's about the 5, maybe the 6-yard line, it looks like. It's about a 3-yard gain for Seamus. He already has a 13-yard touchdown. 34 yards on the ground so far for Seamus on 5 carries and a timeout on the field. You know, you definitely got to think that Coach Stevens pretty happy about the turnaround for the Eagles, but Coach Sanders for Carlsbad, hey, guys, what's happening to us here?
Yeah, man, because, man, it seemed like they had a pretty good game against Centennial last week, and so the coach is expecting them to be able to come in this game and be able to finish off this last game, you know, especially of Hobbs season and everything, with a bang. So hopefully, man, the coach is talking to them and they can get things right. But, again, the offense is fired up and boosted up, man, with that interception right there from the defense, man. It's time to keep going.
Well, we haven't seen much from the linebacker McKibben yet. Said he led the team with 78 tackles into this game. He is just a junior, 15 Division I offers. We mentioned some of those in the pregame show. Arizona State, New Mexico State, UNM, North Carolina, Nebraska, Michigan, TCU, the list, Auburn. The list goes on and on. Haven't seen him get through it or all to make some big plays yet, but we'll have to wait and see if that does transpire. Hopefully not. That was the end of the first quarter, but we'll keep it right here. Eagles have tied it up 7-7, but they're knocking at the door again. And, again, Seamus Wright doing the majority of the carries. He didn't have Hill one time. Medrano has definitely run the football as well. But I think you just keep drilling them. I think what might help this situation, too, is a hurry-up offense and keep Carlsbad kind of panting a little bit, not knowing for sure what to do, not able to get personnel in the ball game as quickly as they'd like. Hobbs tends to be pretty good at getting up on that line of scrimmage and getting another play going.
Yeah, so they might as well keep it going, keep it consistent, and keep it moving forward because that will be the best game to be able to slow down the opponent team but keep them moving fast.
So after the first quarter expired, it is 7-7 to start the second. Eagles have it at the 6-yard line of the Cavemen. And no, it's second and goal, I should say, as well. Split formation backfield again, receiver left and right. Here comes Medrano with the shotgun. Two-step drop, he wants to throw. Airs it out right corner of the end zone over the shoulder, but a little bit too far past the back pylon right side. As he tried to loft it out over there to Braddock Beatty, but it sails out of bounds. But you could tell that's where it was going to go the minute he stepped back there.
Yes, man, and he had a little bit too much arm on the ball. But, again, man, it was a nice place, nice route by Beatty, but unfortunately couldn't get into his hands.
And a spiral on that pass as well. Third down and goal for the Eagles at the 6 of the Cavemen. Here's another situation that Cavemen were in before. You don't want to just go down here and have a field goal. You want to put some sixes on the board, and that's what they're going to try to do here. Shotgun again to Medrano. He does a little counter right, then heads around the left end himself. Quarterback keeper, high steps it in the end zone. Already 1 yard across the goal line. Wasn't even bumped by Carlsbad. They're starting to kind of swallow themselves into a hole here as the Hobbs Eagles did a great counter step by Medrano off the shotgun. Counter to the right, and then he went around that left end. All daylight for him to the left side of the end zone.
Hey, man, that is a guy you got to watch out for because he will get up and he will score.
You did tell me you wanted to buy next week for the playoffs, right, Sovereign?
That's what I was expecting.
So that's going to be a 6-yard run for Medrano. And the kick is up, and it is good. And we should mention about the PATs in this game. Of course, Braddock Beatty is continuing to move up the charts. He's just a couple away for being the best PAT kicker in Hobbs Eagle history. We'll talk about that in just 30 seconds. Your Eagles up 14-7 here at Watson Stadium. As we return to Watson Stadium, Eagles have regained the lead 14-7 after scoring on a run for Medrano, the quarterback keeper around the left end, a 6-yard run. Second PAT for Braddock Beatty. Needs 4 more to break a career PAT record for the Eagles as the kicker for the squad. So 4 more touchdowns would be nice. Ball kicked out to the 20, bounces, picked up by Carlsbad, spun around to the 25 and thrown down hard. Getting him on his shoulder pads for the Eagles was Leo Hawkes, as he took a shot to Evan Leos, the return man for the Cavemen. Hobbs Eagle defense back out on the field. Of course, the last time they played D, they got a pickoff on the INT. So definitely Ruiz doing a great job with the pick for the Eagles and got them in way into the red zone for Carlsbad, able to get that touchdown after that to start the second quarter.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Hopefully they keep that fire, to keep it pushing and keep putting pressure on the offensive team because, hey, when you get interceptions like that, man, it's because of the pressure and the appliance that you put on offense. So hopefully they can keep coming out with that.
Carlsbad on the 28, 1st and 10, receiver left and right, split formation, shotgun to Munoz. He'll hand it up the middle, heading out of the left is right, gets backpedaled a little bit to the 35 as he fell forward a bunch. They get about 7 yards for Wright. He's continuing to be the go-to guy as we continue through this ball game. He's had a total of 6 carries for 12 yards, so just 2 a pop at this point. He was the leading rusher heading into this game for the Cavemen, so they're the guy he liked to go to quite a bit. Wright came in with 898 yards. Munoz was second, the quarterback, at 535, and a big drop-off after that. Those two combined, Wright and Munoz for 12 touchdowns on the ground, 9 for Wright. Second down and 3, shotgun from the 35 on the Cavemen. Twins right, receiver left, fake the handoff around the left end, goes Munoz, 40, 45, puts his head down, and is shoved forward to the 48-yard line. He's going to get a first down and then some. Looks like 12 yards for the quarterback, Munoz. That matches his high of the game. He had a 12-yarder to start the contest, and now has 23 yards on the ground on 7 carries. That'll be the 6th first down of the ball game. We should mention, though, 5 of those 6 were in that first drive that they scored for the first points of the scoreboard. They'll be at their own 47, or make it the 48-yard line. Eagles only putting 3 in the box this time defensively. Trips right, receiver left. Fake the handoff to right, up the middle goes the quarterback. 50, 45, 40, and down to the 35, make it the 33-yard line. Another big pickup for Munoz, the quarterback. He's got another 20 on that one, and they're going to continue to put his head down and let him move forward. Battering ram, he's starting to see some big gaps up the middle, especially on the left side of the line.
Hey, so it's something that the defense got to keep their eye on as well, you know. I mean, I know they got a great receiver, great running back too as well, but, hey, the quarterback is not left out of that package either because the quarterback can move up the field. So the defense definitely got to break down and let nothing go past them.
43 yards on the ground now for the quarterback, Marlene Munoz. And that's the 7th first down for the Cavemen. They're at the Eagle 34. Receiver left and right, make it 2 to the right side. Give the handoff, coming around the right end, then cutting back to the 30, and then goes down back to the right towards the right hash. 5 yards for Wright that time. So now he's got 16 on the ground on 7 carries. A little bit over 2 yards a pop. Brings up a 2nd down and 4 now for the Cavemen at the 23. Nothing special here for Carlsbad at this point. Just want to have some consistent drives and try to get back in this ballgame as they trail Hobbs 14-7.
And that's right. And the defense don't want them to be able to build up that drive again. You want to be able to keep them stuck and make sure to keep some stops because, remember, again, too many first down can get close to the red zone.
It'll be 2nd down and 4 from the 28 of the Eagles. Carlsbad football, shotgun of the split formation. Fake the handoff left, going around the right end is Munoz. 25, 20, back to the right hash. Fumbles ahead, though, and it's picked up by the Eagles. That'll be a fumble recovery for Hobbs. That was an 11-yard pickup, but it's going to be fumbled ahead. And coming up with the football for the Hobbs Eagles is Javen Hernandez, the safety. So give Munoz the 11 yards, but Hernandez says, thanks for the gift, all nice and wrapped for me for a Halloween present.
Yes, man. They're definitely having a trick-or-treat night on defense as well, you know, because, man, picking up that ball like that, man, making the fumble, making plays happen, that's what you want to do as a defensive squad.
We had Ruiz with a pickoff earlier on the last drive, a fumble now. Eagles had a little bit more room to work with here before they had it in the red zone, but now they are at their own 13-yard line. Receiver right, receiver left for the Eagles. They had 3 in the backfield. Waiting for the shotgun is Medrano after 2 turnovers for the Cavemen. 4 in the box, make it 5 now for Carlsbad. Shotgun, delay handoff, then around the left end, and now getting thrown down. Big loss on that one. Never really got outside quick enough on that. Seamus Wright, and the blocking wasn't too great on that left line. He goes down losing about 2.5.
And that's what you want to do as an offensive line. You want to be able to block. You know, you want to be able to make the right block so your rushing back can be able to get up the field, you know. And so, but unfortunately, one to play.
Hurry up offense, 2nd down and 12 now. Back to that split formation shotgun. Back to Medrano, 2-step drop. He's going to do a fade route to the left sideline, a spiral over the shoulder. Justice French, it came down the front of his numbers and slid down his gut to the 50, exactly 50-yard line. He was sandwiched between 2 defenders. You got to give him credit, trying to get himself wedged in there, but it just kind of a slot machine right down his front jersey. We know nowadays these jerseys are pulled down tight, so it's hard to reach as a defender against you, and so it's kind of hard to get a grip on it.
Yeah, you're right. And, again, you got to give it to him, man. Have the 2 defenders on him, you know, to be able to have it in his hands and everything like that, man, to be able to get to the ball. Man, that was a great bomb, though.
Yeah, it was on this left sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Nice spiral thrown on the fade to the left sideline. Back to shotgun will be Medrano by himself at the 5. Trips right, twins left. He wants to throw, steps up in the pocket, quarterback keeper, 10, 15, zag to the left, 20, 25, near sideline, 30, 35, run out of bounds and shoved hard late. I'm waiting for a flag on that one. I'm not seeing it yet. Went out about the 38-yard line. Kind of surprised they didn't throw the flag. That's about a 28-yard run. And he had receivers just stretched out on both sides of the line and still took it himself. No call on that one. They're going to mark it at the 41, so actually giving him 3 more for 31. A coaching staff not too happy for the Hobbs Eagles right now. They think that should have been a late hitter, maybe a little bit unnecessary roughness. Oh, yeah, they go ahead and call it anyway. Sorry about that. 31 on the run and add another 15 for unnecessary roughness on the sideline.
Man, and I'm surprised the refs didn't see, what the offensive line on Hobbs did to the Carlsbad defense, man. So you kind of just want to keep your composure. Even though stuff like that happened, still keep your composure and still just be able to keep your head in the game and play football.
2 penalties for 29 yards so far for Carlsbad. The 14 they got on the first one was half the distance. So that does why it's kind of a weird number. But another first down for the Eagles, their third of the game. They have it now at the Carlsbad 44 on the left hash. 1st and 10. Trips right, receiver left. They bring a man in motion. That's right, left to right. They hand off to him. Cuts it up to the 40, far right side. 35 first down. It continues for a few more. Gets about 3 more on that one. That'll give him 12 actually on the play. And boy, he extended that deep from the left all the way to the far right sideline in front of the Carlsbad bench. 12-yard pickup.
And like a guy used to tell me, that's how you run that football.
Yeah, that's going to be his third longest of the game. He had a 13, a 12, and a 12 so far, and that'll be the first down for the Eagles, their 4th of the contest. He's got 44 on the ground, and they will have it now at the 33. Trips left, receiver 1 to the right. Shotgun, Madrano wants to roll left. He wants to throw to the flood routes. He'll unload to the out route. Catch is made at the 29. Kind of a short one that time, maybe about 3 or 4 depending on the mark. He tiptoes out of bounds. Good hand control on the football with the fingertips there. As pulling it down was Addix Wheeler. That's only his 2nd catch of the season, but he is a sophomore, youngster for the Eagles. Had that big TD catch against Clovis a few weeks ago, and they're going to give him 4 on that one. It's a nice job for Wheeler. Eagles are 1 of 3 in the passing game. 2nd down and 6 from the 29. They'll throw the screen to the left flat, caught at the 30. And then wrapped up hard, and maybe got back to line of scrimmage. But boy, was he drilled hard for the Carlsbad defense that time. Coming in Connor Roberson, the safety out of nowhere. And not much going on that play. Who was that one on the reception in there? Trying to see that number that came across. No gain on the play regardless, but the Eagles are now 2 of 4 in the passing department. Quickly back up the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Bring a man in motion right, left to right. He'll make it 4 receivers on the right. Fake the handoff to him. Cut up the left side. Goes the quarterback, Madrano. And he gets rodeoed, thrown backward to the ground. He has a positive carry on that one.
And that's somebody you got to be able to keep your eyes on. Because, man, Madrano will get up the field. You give him something open, man, he will get a touchdown.
And it looks like they're going to give him 6 on the play. That will be a first down for the Eagles. Thought it was going to be a little bit short. That's his 3rd carry for 39 yards. 5th first down for the Eagles, now at the 22. 1st and 10. Trips right, receiver left. Shotgun from Madrano, has right with him on a counter play. Gets a ball up the middle. Trying to zig and zag his way through the defenders there across the 20. A little delay on that counter to get the flat-footedness there of the linebackers. And he's going to get about 3 on the play as he's brought down, coming across the line of scrimmage by Isaiah Gayton. So 3 for right. Bring up a 2nd down and 7 now for the Eagles at the 19 of the Cavemen. Clock down to 6:20 left here in the 2nd. Hobbs up 14-7 over Carlsbad. Final regular season game here at Watson Stadium. Twins left and right. Both sets of receivers are in a stack formation. Shotgun for Madrano. 2-step drop. He wants to fire a fade route. Actually, it's going to be a flag towards the right pylon. Just kind of lofts it out there. Well outside, though, as it hits about 5 yards out of bounds. No chance to come back for that. It looked like Justice French was out there that time, and he kind of faded from the left over to the right side of the field and was kind of just lofted out. Nice spiral, but a little bit too long to the sideline to the in front of the Carlsbad bench.
Yes, as a receiver, man, when you got to do a lot of twisting and turning to kind of see where the ball is coming from, sometimes it can be hard to be able to get to the ball.
That'll bring up a 3rd down and 7 now from the 19 of the Cavemen. Split formation, snap to Madrano on the shotgun, dumps it in the left flat, caught by right at the 20, 15, near sideline left 10, and shoved out of bounds in the back. He got, I think, just enough. He'll get a little bit more, actually, on the forward progress that time. And they're going to give him 9 yards for the first down at the 10-yard line. Nice catch there for Wright. His first catch of the ball game. Eagles are now 3 of 6 in the passing department for 13 yards. That's the 6th first down. In the red zone, of course, at the 10-yard line on the left hash with 6 minutes left in the half and a 7-point lead. Twins left, receiver right, split formation backfield. Madrano in the middle gets the shotgun, hands it off up the gut, and diving ahead is right over a pile. I don't think he got the forward, maybe a yard or so forward progress for, actually that was Hill that time. As he went right over the top, he kind of submarined the defender, went low on him, and trying to put him down to the ground was Augustine Venegas, the defensive lineman. They give him 1 yard there for Hill. That's his second carry for 4 yards. Eagles take a little bit more time in their offense now. Twins left, receiver right, back to the split formation. Medrano taking the time as he has a man in motion. Beatty going left to right. Now Twins right in the receiving core. Medrano going to go right, throws it to the out route in the end zone. Beatty got shoved in the back as he came across the goal line on the right side. No chance to catch the pass that floated towards the far right sideline of the end zone. But he was stumbling going out, and he got shoved hard in the back by the corner.
Yes, man, you want to be able to watch out for that, especially as a corner, you know, because them flags can be able to have the offense be able to move forward to the red zone. And I guess, man, it was a push behind the back end. Hobbs will be moving forward.
Unfortunately, that was starting at the 9 on that play, so that's only half the distance on the PI, which makes it a 4.5-yard penalty. So that'll be a pass interference call. 33.5 yards on penalties, on 3 penalties so far for the Cavemen. Not doing themselves any justice. Once you get a guy cutting on you like that and there's a gap between you and the defender, putting your hands on the back ain't going to cut it.
Yes, it's not going to cut it at all. You know, you might as well just play good defense, maybe to stick on your man, and things like that won't happen.
Second down and goal now from the 5-yard line. Split formation, left receiver and right as well. Shotgun coming around the left end. Medrano going to stretch it out to the 5, puts his head down, diving across the left byline, but he kind of bobbled it. I don't know if he got the forward progress he wanted. They're going to say he lost it out of bounds at about the 1 or so, maybe even about the 2. But if you juggle the ball and don't have control, and then you do still touch the pylon, you got to have control and at least palm the football. There is a man down, I believe, near that 1-yard line. Hopefully that's not Medrano or anybody, actually, but Medrano was the one that dove for it. He put his body on the line that time. I don't see where the mark of the football is. They're putting it at the 1-yard line, so that will be a 4-yard pickup for Medrano. And looking to see if we can see our number 10 in the huddle. I don't see him there. Not a good sign as they're tending to somebody right about where Medrano dove at the 1-yard line. We'll take a 30-second break. 5:11 left first half. Eagles up 14-7 over Carlsbad. Come back with us in 30 seconds. Back live at Watson Stadium. Bad news there. It was the injury for the quarterback, Junior Medrano, as he dove towards the goal line on the left side pylon. Came flat on his gut to the turf. A lot of bodies on top of him for Carlsbad. That's going to bring in sophomore Conlon McCool, 6 foot, 180 pounds for the Eagles. Has had some time this season on the field. McCool, in terms of his numbers, he is 3 of 5 in the passing game for 9 yards. So he's had a few throws in the contest, 1 interception, no touchdowns yet. And McCool, 4 carries for 23 yards in the running game as well. He has a long of 20, so he can run the football a little bit there, but a sophomore putting a pretty big pivotal role here. We don't know for sure what the situation is with starting quarterback Junior Medrano, but going to have to watch him on the sideline to see what's going to happen there. But, again, the sophomore stepping in. Be nice to see him help his team score another touchdown to add on to the 14-7 lead here at Watson Stadium.
Yes, most definitely. And this calls for McCool to step up too as well and be able to prove himself. Like you said, man, he's very in a big impact moment right now and be able to prove himself.
Medrano did get 4 yards on that last carry for 43 total. 4 carries for 43, so he's over 10 a pop right now. So McCool will be in that split formation with his 2 running backs, receiver left and right. Gets a shotgun. Handoff on the right side. Right is trying to beat 3 guys. Gets slung down by the second. Helmet falls off the head of the guy that tackled him in the backfield. That was Ty Young. He's going to have to take a seat. When that helmet comes off with nobody pulling it off, that is a 1-play sit down. And that's going to be about a 4-yard loss, too. Wright just couldn't get the outside run that he wanted and had 3 guys coming at him across the line. Started at the 1. The ball was at the 1. Let's see where they actually put it down on this play. Looks like about the 5-yard line, a -4 for Wright, and the Eagles going to bring on their kicking team. That will be, of course, McCool, who does hold a lot for the Eagles, so he's no stranger to that position. He will do that as well for Braddock Beatty. Braddock Beatty needs 5 kick points to be 4th on the all-time kicking list for the Hobbs Eagle program of the history of it. He already has the 2 PATs, which is 2 points. If he gets a field goal here, he's going to move up to 4th on the all-time charts for kicking points in the Eagles' history. So this would be a nice one right here. The ball is going to get placed around the 12, maybe 13-yard line. That would be a 23-yard field goal. Late man coming on the field for the Eagles. They didn't have enough out there. DeMarcus Hill, he's going to line up in that left slot to block for the Eagles on this field goal attempt. Actually going to be about a 22-yarder instead of 23. Waiting for the snap is McCool. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And that's Mr. Braddock Beatty now, 4th on the all-time kick points list for the history of the Hobbs Eagle program. Congrats to him as he gets it there. Eagles get some points on their 3rd drive of the game. 17-7 is your score over Carlsbad. 4:37 left here in the first half. We're back in 30 seconds, live on Cool 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 17-7, a 22-yard field goal for Braddock Beatty, their 3rd score of the ball game, so a 10-point lead. But Junior Medrano is out for so far at least. He's going to have to rest a little bit through the defensive stand here for the Eagles. He went down diving towards the 1-yard line near the left pylon, trying to reach out for the touchdown, and he went flat onto the ground and was piled on top of. Not quite sure what the injury is. We'll have to watch him on the sideline. The kick down to the 20, brought back on the right hash to the middle, going all the way over to the left side of the field, even Leos. And stays to the left hash and is brought down hard, just shy of the 25-yard line. And Leos is the ball carrier that time for Carlsbad. The man that took him down to the turf to make sure he didn't go too far was Gavin Garcia for the Hobbs Eagles. So a 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for the Cavemen. They've got a 10-point deficit to try to get back to with a 4:30 left here in the second.
And we see when they return, they can't get quite past that 30 yet. So, man, this always gives the defense to come out here and take an advantage.
Again, 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line for the Cavemen. Eagles have 4 in the front box, a little gap in the middle. Split formation backfield for Carlsbad. Twins right, receiver left in the receiving core. Munoz gets the shotgun, gives it to the right halfback. He tries to come around the left end, and he's going to be bottled up near the line of scrimmage. Not much going on there. That is right once again. I think he got lucky to get back to line of scrimmage. Eagles is standing straight up that time and shutting down the far left sideline there. As he just kind of went up straight up to the 24. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10. This would be a nice stop for the Eagles and maybe get some time back to try to add on to a 10-point lead.
Yeah, most definitely. You want to be able to get that stop, and they've been doing good so far, the defense, so hopefully they can be able to make that big impact again.
Of course, Meredith, the all-time leader in sacks for the Hobbs Eagle history, he has 9.5 now. Back to pass Munoz. Quarterback draw to the 25. Left hash 30. He's tripped from behind and somersaults forward across the 35. He might have just got enough for that he needed. 11 they're going to give him on that one. Luckily, a ankle sweep by one of the linemen for the Eagles. But a 1st down pickup for the quarterback Munoz. That's a back-to-back 11-yard pickup for him. On his last series, he finished up with 11 yards on a run. He has had 4 in a row of double digits, 12, 20, 11, and 11. So he's starting to get some consistency here in the second quarter. Not even the leading rusher for the season. Trips right, a receiver left. That was a 1st down, the 8th of the game for the Cavemen from the 34. Option left around the left end of the 40, 45, and getting very close to that 50-yard line. That will be a 1st down, a 12-yard pickup for Wright. He'll move the chains again. That's the 9th 1st down. Again, now he's got 5 double-digit runs in a row.
Yeah, it's most definitely. And again, the defense don't want to give, the offense to be able to get that fire up to think, hey, we can come back. I believe we can win this game. They want to keep putting and smacking pressure up on the offense.
77 yards rushing already for Munoz. 1st down and 10 now from the 46. Again, 9 1st downs for the Cavemen. They're on the left hash with 3:17 left in the half. Twins right, receiver left. Shotgun going to be coming back to Munoz with one man with him to hand off up the middle. He puts his head down. He's going to try to move the pile. Eagles are going to pull him back from behind. Does get a little bit of yards on that one, maybe 3. And that was right again. They keep going back to him and Munoz, of course, the quarterback. 20 yards on the ground for Wright. That will be a 3-yarder. Clock will run still with 2:50 left. I think Carlsbad does want to keep the clock moving too, because if they score, they don't want to leave any time on there for the Hobbs Eagles to try to get another touchdown themselves. 2nd down and 7 now at the 49 of the Cavemen. Twins right, receiver left. Munoz will be back with Wright. Gets the shotgun, little counter. Ball's fumbled to the backfield. Picked up by Munoz and tries to get down. Eagles going to be right on top of him. He loses about a yard or 2 on the play. A muffed handoff that time, but recovered by Munoz. He's lucky. As coming in there is putting some damage on him once that ball was dropped. Adrian Mora from that secondary. I'm going to say no gain on the play. I don't know how he got back to line of scrimmage. He got real lucky on that one, did Munoz?
Yes, man, very lucky. And we know that from the defense, man, a lot of their plays have been coming from interceptions and fumbles. So you quite don't want to do that as an offensive player.
3rd down and 7 for the Cavemen at their 49, trailing by 10 to the Eagles. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, shotgun of the split formation. Fake the handoff. Munoz back to pass, 7-step drop, rolls right. Throws it on the run, the out route through the hands of the intended receiver at the Eagle 48-yard line, and trying to reach out with his fingertips to pull that down was Braden Flores. Might have heard some footsteps. There's a couple defenders in the area for the Eagles. Samuel Zimbardi, the linebacker, was out there, and also coming around the corner, too, a couple other guys. Let me see who else that was. Amron Wheeler, the defensive end. I do not think that Lopez would have liked to make that catch. I think he'd have been drilled the minute he got a hand on it.
Yeah, man, and again, man, you as a defensive coach, I know you are happy right now because your defense is out here making plays that you expect them to.
They're now just 3 for 5 in the passing game for 21 yards. Bad snap of the punt. It's going to roll back to the 20. Scooped up on the run. They're just going to throw it out of bounds. But wait, that could be a penalty too. Because if you throw that out of bounds and it doesn't get to the line of scrimmage, that could be a penalty on top of that on a pass play. Yep, flags in the backfield. It won't matter, though, because they'll just decline the penalty and take it back where it was at the 49-yard line. That is a loss. That would be a loss of down, but so maybe they could take it. Make it a loss of down will be Hobbs football.
Yes, man, and this gives them a great advantage, especially the offense, to be able to come out here, be able to make a score, and be able to have a more up lead and everything like that to be right there in the safe zone.
So after the bad snap that went about 15 to 20 yards behind the punter, he chased it down and ran to the left with it. Even Leos saw that he was not going to get a punt off in time. He had a rush coming and just threw it out of bounds. It was about 10 yards shy of the first down marker. Yeah, they are going to call illegal grounding. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down. And get this, we have already had 4 penalties for Carlsbad, none for the Eagles. They're starting to rack up negative yards there for the Cavemen, and that's going to put the Eagles now in a red zone look. Perfect timing, too. 1:41. Hobbs can afford to run some clock on this drive and then get up by more than the 10 they are now.
Yes, and it's like Carlsbad is giving Hobbs a lot of advantages, and Hobbs want to come out here and be able to take that advantage and be able to score with it.
They've had a fumble, an interception, turnover on downs, and that is not a formula for winning the final regular season game on the road. Hobbs football, have it at the 16-yard line. Twins left, no receivers right, split formation backfield. Waiting for the shotgun is McCool. No, that is back to Medrano, 22 he's going to throw from. Throws it deep into the middle of the end zone, and it goes past the back line. As a couple of guys going up for it, one for the Eagles and one for the Cavemen. You could tell that was a little bit too long of a throw that time. Beatty was going head-to-head with the cornerback there, maybe the safety, and kind of stretched up. He got it way up on the ladder that time to try to bring it down, but jumping up there with him was Lennon Ananians. Incomplete on the play. Hobbs now 3 of 7 in the passing game for only 13 yards. So really the air game isn't working too great this so far. Hobbs against some passes just a little bit too long. 2nd down and 10. Nice to see Medrano back, though, from the 17. He gets a last-second handoff up the middle, and Seamus Wright plows through the gut. He's going to get some positive yardage on that one. See how much he'll give him. About 4 yards for Seamus Wright. Keeps the clock moving, which is good, too. Hobbs would like to score as late in this second quarter as possible. Down to 1:18 remaining in the second, 17-7. Hobbs by 10. Third down and 7. They need to get to the 7-yard line for a first down. On the right hash, clock down to 105. Twins left and right. Be two in the backfield, including Medrano. Shotgun, two-step drop back to the 20. He'll throw it to the right side of the end zone. The receiver got bunched up, and he's injured. Looks like Braddock Beatty. He is hunched over now. He couldn't even finish his route and just kind of stopped about the goal line and hunched over. Didn't get pushed by the defender or anything. It looks like it might be an ankle issue there.
And sometimes that happens to you as a receiver. You know, you so urged to run your route and everything like that. You kind of get caught up. And then, look, on this turf, sometimes your cleat can get caught up in the turf.
Actually, I think he's actually holding his left thigh now, so maybe he got that Charlie horse. He's trying to walk it off, and not a great thing for a receiver to have to deal with. Still limping, but he's going to stay in the ball game. But Eagles are facing the big play here. There was a penalty, a hold call, but they're not going to take it. They're going to decline it for Carlsbad. So Hobbs will be faced with a field goal situation, it looks like. We just saw Beatty go down with maybe a hamstring, not a hamstring, but a thigh injury there. And we'll see if he's going to be the one to kick it. So it's going to be placed at the 20. That'll be a 30-yard field goal attempt for Beatty. Already has the kick record for most points in a career, any type of kick, field goal, or PAT. Actually, fourth on the list, I should say. No, he's first on that one, but he's fourth currently for PATs. He does a nice drill on the kick, but they're going to say it's off to the right just a bit. Guaranteed that injury has hurt him somewhat. So no good on the 30-yard field goal for Braddock Beatty. 52 seconds left in the half, and Hobbs still holding on to a 10-point lead over Carlsbad, 17-7. Come back with us in 30 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs still has a 10-point lead here in the second quarter, 17-7 over Carlsbad, missing a 30-yard field goal. Beatty was hurt on the previous pass play right before that. Looked like a thigh injury there. Might have pulled a muscle, but was not able to get that kick to go through. Kind of sailed off to the right. Hobbs had to play some defense now. Back to pass. Munoz, three-step drop. He'll fire the out route, caught at the 23-yard line at the right hash, and brought down quickly. That'll be a 5-yard pickup as he fell forward. As the man that comes up with it is Leos. Now we will give him 5 on that play. They're now 4 of 7 in the passing game. Hurry up offense now on a 2nd down and 5 from their own 25. The Cavemen on the right hash. Clock down to 28 seconds and ticking. Twins left and right. Munoz going back to shotgun. 3-step drop. Throws another out route, but hits the turf in front of the receiver at the 32-yard line. Already sitting on his butt. He lost his footing. Was Robert Castaneda. And so far, Castaneda's had 2 catches for 17, but not that time.
And the quarterback had no choice but to be pressured, because when you have a guy like Wheeler, coming in and coming full speed at you, you don't know what to do, man, so you just throw the ball.
3rd down and 5 for Carlsbad at their own 25 on the right hash. Clock stop with the incomplete, 20 seconds remaining. Hobbs up 17-7. The Cavemen will send 3 receivers left, one to the short side in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench right. Munoz back with right in the backfield, not Seamus, but the right for Carlsbad. Good snap, 2-step drop. Munoz going to tuck and go. Tries to head to the right, then cut back up the middle. He's going to be brought down in the backfield, lose about a yard or 2. He got swamped under. Getting hands on him first was Joseph Reza for the Eagles, and then got some help on top of that. I believe coming in underneath there, the big man for the Hobbs Eagles, Meredith, as he put his big chest and everything else that he's got, 330 pounds of, right on top of the quarterback who's going to lose a yard.
Most definitely, he definitely carries a powerhouse with him, to be able to, break in and punch in and get in however he can do it to be able to get that sack.
Trying to get the right words to describe all his body parts as one big mass, but he's a big one to be reckoned with. 7 seconds left here in the second. Time out on the field. 30 seconds, we'll be back live as your Eagles lead 17-7. They added 7 seconds on the scoreboard. 14 remaining for Carlsbad here in the second quarter, trailing Hobbs 17-7. 4th down and 6 at the 25. In punt formation, had a bad snap on the last one. This one will be kicked from the 9. A wobbler, though. Takes a bounce at the 50, rolls into Hobbs territory, picked up at the 40. Back and forth going with the football on the right hash, zigzagging to the sideline to 45. So about a 5-yard return when it's all said and done. Hobbs have some halfway decent position here with just 2 seconds left, so I don't think they're going to try anything crazy as that return for the Hobbs Eagles, I believe by Javen Hernandez. Hobbs will have 1 play left if they want to take it from the 45 of their own. No reason why he shouldn't throw a long one down the field. I mean, if it's intercepted, they have to run it quite a long ways even to be in a chance for it to come back and score for Carlsbad.
If you was a coach, what would you do?
Oh, you definitely. You got to keep it away from the sidelines, I think, because that's dangerous side there. The guy cutting up the sideline, but still, I mean, just make sure you have a couple of guys, kind of the linemen, kind of stand around a little bit because in case there is a pickoff, he wants to have somebody to block or wrap up there to take him down. But yep, he's going to load up the receiving core. Trips left, receiver right. Too close of a game. You want to extend the score if possible. Medrano by himself in the backfield. Wait a second. They had somebody come up underneath the center and take a snap. Maybe Medrano went up underneath there. I was waiting for the shotgun, but I guess he went underneath the center that time and just took a knee. Hobbs loaded up a lot of receivers. I was expecting a long ball there, Hail Mary type, but they decide against it. Going to be a little bit conservative to end the half, being happy with a 10-point lead. 17-7, your Eagles lead Carlsbad. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with a halftime show here at Watson Stadium. You're listening live to HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page for the internet, and on the radio at Cool 95.7. We're at halftime here at Watson Stadium. Hobbs Eagle Marching Band, their final regular season game. Hopefully they will have a game either next week or the second week. Hopefully maybe a bye next week and then the second week of the playoffs, depending if the Eagles end up 1 through 4 in the state playoff pairings. Ty Friend, Sovereign Anthony with you. Your Eagles up by 10 at the half, 17-7. They tried to tack on a field goal there on their next to last possession, but unfortunately a missed field goal from 30 yards there as Braddock Beatty went down injured on the play right before that as a receiver, stayed in the game, and then they had a penalty on the Eagles that made it a 4th down, and then he stayed in to kick the field goal attempt a little bit to the right, so no good on that one. So that would have been a nice little bit of insurance points there, but still a double-digit lead and kind of a lackluster game so far. Not a lot of excitement at this point, Sovereign, but fortunately for both teams, there's a lot on the line in this game, so there might be some pressure out there for them. I think both teams are playing a little bit conservative. Hobbs does drill some long bombs, not bombs, but more fade routes over the shoulder, trying to get some connects there. But, at that last play, they decided to kneel down instead of going for a last shot to put some more points on the scoreboard. But right now I think Hobbs sees that they have a cushion what they're doing right now. They don't have to gamble too much and just try to get into that next round of the playoffs, the first round of the playoffs, maybe with the bye or maybe you have to play next week at home. But still, I think they're not going to put too much out there to up for grabs, in other words. Just kind of keeping it conservative and try to pick up their last win of the regular season.
It's most definitely been an intense game, but just not a, scoring back and forth type of game. Both teams has been playing good. Unfortunately, Hall's been getting a lot of pickups, especially for the defense. Man, you got to clap it up for the defense. The defense been keeping their head on the swivel, attacking, taking advantages of every single thing that the Carlsbad has been doing, and Hobbs defense just been catching up on it, man, with interceptions, with fumbles, and so much more, with a lot of great stops. And then again, hey, unfortunately, like you said, a lot of balls being overthrown and everything. And hopefully, man, coming up in the second half, they can clear that up a little bit, get it into the, receiver's hands. And before you know it, I believe, man, they can be able to have a great second half coming out here.
Looking at the scoring in the first half, Carlsbad actually went on their first drive with 5 first downs. They got a 1-yard run from Caleb Wright. They led 7-0. They returned the favor for the Eagles. Seamus Wright, 13-yard run to tie it up at 7-7. About 2 minutes left in the second quarter, or first quarter. Second quarter, Hobbs took the lead, a 6-yard run for Medrano after an INT, put him in the red zone. So it was 14-7, just under 12 minutes left in the second. And then the Eagles tacked on a 22-yard field goal for Braddock Beatty at the 4:37 mark of the second, making it 17-7. So that 10-point lead for the Eagles. Looking at the numbers first for Carlsbad, their leader is Wright. He had 11 carries for 47 yards. He had the only touchdown on the first drive for 13. He's had another couple of double-digit runs for 12 and 12. Tends to be the guy that's had most of the carries. He's had 11 of the 17 rushes so far in this first half, and that's why he is the leading rusher for this team.
Yes, man, and it's been good, and I've been enjoying watching him and everything, and so I'm ready to see some more, keep it going and keep it pushing and keep that consistency rolling and keep it going up, because it's been great to see tonight.
And actually, though, I'm reading the wrong numbers. Excuse me. I think I was reading right from the Eagles. There we go. Made a mistake there. Let's go back to Munoz. He is the leader for the Carlsbad Cave. I can't believe I flipped my side and looked for the wrong right. There we go. So let's go back and rehash all that again. Carlsbad led by Munoz, the quarterback, 13 carries for 76 yards. There's the correct numbers. He has not scored a touchdown yet. His long was 20, but he's had runs of 12, 12, 12, and 11. So a lot of those coming in the second quarter. Consistent running for the quarterback, and he's not the leading rusher on the season that other Caleb Wright is, but he is getting to see a little bit of distance out there and doing some good things. Even when he gets hit, he's continuing to move ahead.
Yes, man, he is, man, and that's a good thing that you see from him. You see him a lot of times get hit, get tackled, get wrapped around, but still able to move his feet. And that's what you want to do as a running back, Be able to keep moving your feet, no matter what it is, no matter what the play is, no matter how it goes, no matter how you're tackled, still move those feet.
Now the guy, the right, Brock Wright, for Carlsbad at least, he's got 8 carries for 20 yards. No double-digit runs so far, so he's been kind of held at bay at this point. And he had some pretty good numbers coming into this contest. He was at 898, so he only needed 2 to get to 900, which he's definitely done that, but not a ton more. 8 carries for 20 yards. Did have the only touchdown for Carlsbad, the 1-yard run for the score, but that's pretty much it for him. So Hobbs been keeping him at bay as much as possible. Castaneda, who plays receiver but also sets up in the backfield once in a while, he had a carry for 12 yards early. and it was Harper a carry for 8 yards. So 4 guys touched the football for the rushing game. They had 116 rushing yards in the first half. The passing game, they were 4 of 8. Double catches for Castaneda, a 2 for 17, a 12 and a 5-yarder. Leos had a catch for 5, and Lopez a catch for 4. So again, 4 of 8 for a total of just 26 yards of passing. So Carlsbad ends the first half at 142 in total offense. Their big problem was the turnovers. A fumble picked up by Hernandez for the Eagles, and Ruiz got the first turnover. The interception in that ballgame was a tip to him to take the ball away, and then also a turnover on downs for Carlsbad as well. They had some issues with that, and another punt too. So they've given up the ball several times here in this ball game. Take a look at their first downs. They had 9 total, but 5 of those were on their first drive. Very sustained drive that took a ton of time off the clock. I think it was about 7 minutes or so that they clipped off the clock there. So they definitely got some good plays going and got into for their first score of the game. So pretty much that's it for the Carlsbad Cavemen in the first half. One other thing I should mention, too, the penalty situation. They have had 4 penalties for 38.5 yards. So they've had some issues there, and the Hobbs Eagles have been keeping theirs pretty clean up to this point.
Yes, man, they have. And, again, I'm ready to see more of the passing game. I believe I've been seeing, a little bit, a passing more on the Carlsbad side of things than Hobbs, as far as, it actually being, recepted and caught and everything. But, again, hey, it's been a good first half overall. I'm ready for the second half. I believe the coaches on both teams are speaking to them well, speaking to them right, telling them this, telling them that. So I'm expecting for both of them to come out with their heads on and see where the score prevails from here.
Hobbs Eagles numbers in the first half. They had a pretty close battle for first in the running game. Seamus Wright, 11 carries for 47 yards. He had a 13-yarder for the touchdown. In fact, his first 3 rushes, or 2 of his 3 rushes, were double digits, 12, and then that 13-yard touchdown. He had another 12-yarder in the second quarter. Again, 11 for 47 and the TD. Junior Medrano, 4 carries for 43 yards in the first half, including a 31-yarder. He did go down as he tried to jump and flatten himself out for a touchdown. Flattened himself on the ground, got loaded on top of by Carlsbad's D. Ball bounced out of his hands, out of bounds, luckily, when he hit the pylon, so it didn't score a touchdown, but he came out for a few plays, and McCool came in for him, but he did return after that. It was Hill for 2 carries and 4 yards. So 3 guys have rushed the football in the first half. Shy of the 100 mark, though. They have had a total of 17 carries for 94 yards in the first half. Passing game really hasn't been too dominant so far. 3 of 8 so far in the air. They had a catch for Wright and a catch for Wheeler. Addix Wheeler had his second catch of the season, and Beatty had one for no yards. So only 3 receivers with 1 apiece in the first half, again, for just 13 yards in the air. Hobbs with 107 yards compared to 142 for Carlsbad. So Carlsbad pretty much dominating a little bit in the running game, but the Eagles on the scoreboard up by 10, 17 to 7 at this point. Hobbs, I don't think, has had any penalties. They had 1 for a holding, but it was declined by Carlsbad to bring a 4th down up. So they've been cleaning up the handkerchiefs in this ball game. Eagles ended up in the first half with 6 first downs.
Yes, man, and I've been seeing a lot of improvement, especially with that, no handkerchiefs out on the field and everything. From the previous game, we've been seeing a lot, whether they've been holding, whether they've been, onside or anything like that. But again, this has been an improvement for Hobbs, and hopefully in the second half they can be able to step up the running game and the passing game a little bit more, get some yards going. We can see some great plays by Medrano, by Seamus, by Hill, by Beatty, and even by Wheeler too, as being a young buck on the field too as well. But I'm ready to see some more too.
We should mention this week, Friday tonight and Saturday, some big games coming up. Of course, Las Cruces playing Centennial. If Centennial would have an upset, that could really kind of mess things up in the district standings, of course. Eagles, if they lost this game and then there was an upset by Centennial, that could really mess up the Eagles' chances for a top 4 seed. So they're trying to hope that Las Cruces kind of just continues to take the driver's seat and wins the district, because they're already ranked number 1 in the state regardless. Of course, make that La Cueva, another team right now. They're number 1 in their district, and they've got a pretty weak Cibola team on their schedule. I think it's tomorrow. That should be a win for them. That would give them a pretty good record so far at this point. They're kind of lower in the standings, about 8 or 9, I believe, in the latest Max Preps poll. But if a win tonight with a better record, they could be moving up a few slots. So that's kind of a team on the bubble the Eagles have to watch for. Rio Rancho got beat by Cleveland last night, so that kind of moves them out of the chance for the top 4 slots. But, of course, Cleveland is ranked second in the state, so they're going to pretty much hold on to either 1 or 2 slot for the playoffs. And, again, all those will be announced on Sunday. Eagles definitely going to have a home game, you would expect, for the first round. But if they can get that top 4, 1 through 4 slot, that means they would have a bye next week.
Yes, man, and that would be good for them to kind of give that relaxation for them to be able to get, get more prepped for the games moving forward, because it is some games moving forward, man, coming off in the playoffs. And again, this game is not over yet tonight, so hopefully they got to push forward tonight, keep that momentum, keep that score going up, because hey, you don't know what Carlsbad can do coming out in the second half, but you want to make sure they don't do it on you.
Quick Lee County scores for already a final. Lovington thrashing Gadsden 58-28, 30-point win for the Wildcats. Let me get these scores up here. Lovington, is that a final yet? Oh, sorry, that was the wrong score. Boy, I'm messing these up tonight. Lovington leads Santa Teresa 54-0. That is a mercy roll already in the third quarter, so that game is over. Pretty close one at the beginning of the game for the Lee County battle. Unison Jowl was 7-7 early, but the Panthers are now having some issues as the Cardinals up big 35-13. They lead that one by 22. So again, Lovington beats Santa Teresa 54-0, and it's 35-13 Unis over Jowl. Some of our other Lee County teams in the last week of the regular season, and playoffs getting going really quickly for all these teams. We're down to about a minute left of warm-ups here at Watson Stadium. Our Hobbs Eagles lead 17-7 over Carlsbad. Let's take a final 60-second break, ready for second half action on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Eagles out on the field first. They will be the return team in the second half. That's a good deal there, Sovereign. A 10-point lead, and didn't get really a lot of chance to put anything up there on their last possession. They had one play to just kind of kneel down and let this second half come. And that might be another reason Coach Stevens decided to do that. He knew they'd get the ball back in the second half.
Yes, and smart thinking about a coach too as well. And again, hopefully Coach, the way he talked to him in the locker room, getting this advantage to be able to receive, man, hopefully they can move up the field and keep it going and have that consistency to keep moving up the field.
We mentioned at the half, Eagles not with the stellar numbers, 94 run and 13 in the passing department so far. 47 for Wright and 43 for Medrano in the rushing game. That's combined a total of 90 of their 94 rushing yards. In the passing department, again, 3 of 8 for just 13 yards in the air. And for Carlsbad, the leader, 76 for the quarterback Munoz, and just 20 for their leading rusher on the season, Wright, 8 for 20 on the ground. Again, they are 4 of 8 for just 26 yards in the air. So no big air attack for either team in this one, Sovereign.
Yes, man, and again, you're right, Ty, and so hopefully we can be able to see it more coming up in the second half. It's getting time for kickoff, and let's see how it goes from here.
Again, Carlsbad, if you're watching on the internet, wearing the white uniforms, blue numbers, Eagles in the home blacks with gold numbering as we get ready for a kickoff from Lennon Ananas, the junior. He's going to boot it back to the 15 on the starburst for the Eagles. There will be a handoff to the right side, but slipping down to the turf sideways that time as he tried to come around the Carlsbad coverage, Adrian Mora. So that will be Eagles behind the 20 for their first series of the second half. They lead 17-7. And you want to kind of see a quick start for Hobbs because they got scored on early in that first quarter. It took a few minutes because Carlsbad had a sustained drive. But Hobbs would like to answer that here in the second half and get up by more than 10.
Yes, most definitely. You definitely want to have that consistency of moving up the field. So hopefully coming out here for Hobbs, they're going to be able to get that momentum to keep moving up the field to get first down to get up to the red zone.
Eagles break the huddle. They're out on the field now. The receiver to the far left in front of the Carlsbad bench, Adrian Moore. They got twins on the right side, including Beatty and French. Split formation, shotgun going, and in motion goes Beatty to the left side, making it twins. Back to pass. Here comes a fade route, a spiral over the shoulder, a little long again. Up near the 50-yard line with Justice French. Turn around to the official, thought he might have got bumped. He was going shoulder to shoulder with the defender. That was Rio Sanchez on the near right sideline. We seen a bunch of those lead passes there. Sovereign a little bit too far, 7-8 yards. They've been spirals, but kind of hard to get underneath them.
Yes, and you kind of sometimes got to tell, Madrano to put down the weights because his arm is pretty strong, and, he's kind of overthrowing him a little bit. But, hey, man, it's been great spirals, man, and it's getting there. It will catch on,
3 for 9 in the passing game so far for the Eagles. 2nd down and 10. They are at their own 17, leading by 10. Man in motion is Beatty, making it Twins left. Shotgun Madrano. Fakes the handoff. He's going to head the right side of the 20. Quarterback keeper and gets swiped out to the 25-yard line. Picks up a couple on the play. Good job of getting low on him and forcing him to the sideline was that cornerback that was guarding Justice French just seconds ago, Rio Sanchez. So that will bring up a 3rd down situation for the Eagles. How many yards did they give him on that one? I guess he extended it ahead. He's got, looks like he gave him 8 for the run there for the quarterback. That's his 5th carry for 51 yards. Brings up a 3rd down and 2. Trips right, receiver left, shotgun. Handoff on the right end. Sheamus right to the right sideline to 30. Goes shoulder to shoulder pad and bangs into his defender that time. Bouncing him back for Carlsbad. That was Ty Young, the guy that tried to step up on him. That's definitely a 1st down. Be 5 yards for Wright to move the chains.
Yes, man, and it's great run. It's a great run too that DeMarcus and Sheamus, man, when they run the football, man, they love to put that helmet down and be able to buck up, and that's how you want to run the ball as a running back.
12 carries for 52 yards for Wright. That's the 7th 1st down for the Eagles, now at their own 31-yard line. Right hash, trips right, receiver left, fake the handoff, go with the reverse to the left side, coming around the left end is Edgar Zubia to the 30, 35, 40, and gets a 1st down. He saw the sticks over there and got exactly what he needed. Nice reverse from the right side.
And a smart play by Zubia, to be able to run out of bounds, because it's a smart move to be able to know where you're going and know how to run and knowing that, hey, I don't got no room to go anywhere, but let me just get the 1st down and go out of bounds.
That's the 8th 1st down for the Hobbs Eagles. Zubia, of course, a receiver, but he got a nice little reverse from right to left that time. Trips right. Oh, wait a second. They said he went out of bounds. Sorry about that. He didn't get 10. Looks like they gave him 7. The screen pass to the right side, a high one, pulled down by Wheeler to the 40, near sideline, gets his head down, and he's going to be close to that 1st down, depending where they say he went out. No, that was Zubia that time. And should have gotten a 1st down there. Looks like they give him 5. So Zubia, back-to-back plays to him. Eagles are now 4 of 10 in the passing game. They gave him, on that last play that he had the reverse on, that was 8, make it 6 yards, 7 yards. And they was able to get enough for the 1st down on that catch there. 5 for the Eagles. So that will be their 9th 1st down, and they'll have the football now at their own 44 on the right hash. They lead 17-7 with 11:28 remaining here in the 3rd. Twins right and left, shotgun coming to Madrano. Turns and fires, a screen to the right side to French. 45, 50, he gets up in it as he dives forward. As he'll get 6 yards and taking his knees out low that time on a submarine look. Colton McKibben, that's that big linebacker, the Division I, 15. School's looking at him right now, but he is just a junior. First time I've seen him kind of isolated against the Hobbs Eagle. They're actually giving 7 to Justice, his first catch of the ball game. 1st and 2nd down and 3 from the 49 of the Cavemen on the right hash. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right side. Split formation backfield for Hobbs. And waiting for the shotgun is Madrano. There's 2 running backs with him. Takes a good snap, 2-step drop, steps up pocket. He's going to fire over the shoulder, and it's going to bounce at the 10, about 5 or 6 yards past his receiver. That was intended for Beatty. Get kind of locked a little bit too long. Nice spirals we're seeing on those long balls, but a little bit too much umph on them. Incomplete on that one.
And we know those are Beatty's type of balls. From the other previous game that we have seen, when you leave Beatty open like that and Madrano can give it to him, man, they're touchdowns right away.
Eagles 5 of 12 in the passing game so far. For 26 yards make it. 3rd down and 3 for Hobbs at the 49. Expect a run here. They definitely want to keep this drive moving. Twins left, receiver right. Back to that split as Madrano looks to the sideline to get the play. Possible change up here. On the audible, get the receivers readjusted. French is by himself on the near right sideline in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. 4 in the box for Carlsbad. They're sending some linebackers. A quick curl route, caught at the 45. That will be a perfect for the first down. Maybe even an extra 2 on that one. Needed to get to the 46, and they're going to give him to the 40, make it the 44. So 5 yards for Justice French, his second catch here in the second quarter for 12 yards. Eagles are now 6 of 13 in the passing game. That is the 10th first down for Hobbs, now in double digits, and trying to add on to a 10-point lead with 10:30 left, third quarter.
And you see Coach trying to go to the passing game a little bit more in the second half. And that's what you kind of love to see, to kind of, put a confusion on the opponent team to let them know that we can throw the ball too as well.
Twins left, receiver right again is French by himself. Shotgun to Medrano. High snap. Turns and fires another curl route. Out, actually, to French. He bangs into 2 defenders near the first down marker on the near right sideline. And he's just real close to that first down, at least 9.5, and he's starting to get fired up. He might have had a talk with his coaches at half and said, hey, man, I'm beating my man pretty easy. And that's at least maybe 9. We'll see if they give him 10 on this one. Looks like they're pushing the chains. 10 yards for French. 3 catches all coming in the third quarter for 22 yards. 11th first down, and now 7 of 14 in the passing game. So he's had 22 yards in the air already. And a quick run up the middle. Hobbs not wasting any more time. A little extracurricular activity here. Will be a 4-yard pickup. I think Medrano held on to that at the last minute, or did he hand that off to oh, they're giving me more than that, 8 yards. Is that Medrano? I believe they just held on to it that time. That'll be his third carry for 59. Second down and 3 from the 27 of Carlsbad. From the right hash, shotgun Medrano. Angle right to right, stop and go. He's going to back his way into a couple extra yards, close to the 25 and near right sideline. I think they're going to give him maybe 1. Got a block ahead that time for the Hobbs Eagle lineman, Isaiah Morales from the right side, the big 6'1", 280-pound lineman. 1-yard pickup for Wright. He's got 13 carries for 53 yards. Third down and a long one from the 26. Again, Medrano in the shotgun out of the split formation, claps his hands and stops and looks at the sideline. Pretty big call here to keep the drive alive, up by 10. 8:55 left, third quarter. Hobbs over Carlsbad. Twins right, receiver left. Takes the shotgun, fakes the handoff. He wants to throw. He's going with the post route, but getting banged on the route as he tried to get up the middle. Finally, the back judge throws a flag as Braddock Beatty kind of lobbied to the official that time. And the flag came a lot late on that one inside the red zone. He kind of got pinball between 2 defenders, and the referee back deep calls it for a penalty PI.
Yes, man, and that's the advantage that you want right there. Because, man, as a defensive player, when you're trying to do that to the receiver and stuff like that, you don't want to get nobody hurt out there. And so, great call by the ref.
That will not be a full 15, though. That would have been from the 26, so that would be a 13-yard penalty overall, half the distance. And I believe that, yeah, that'll be a first down because this is a 3rd and 2 on that one. So Hobbs will pick up their 12th first down. And that's 5 penalties against the Cavemen. 51.5 yards so far on penalties. None for the Eagles except a holding that was declined. First and 10 for the 12. Back to pass. Medrano dumps it in the right flat. The catch is made to the 10, and then it's Hill driving himself down to the 5-yard line as he put his head down. That started at the 12, and let's see where they're going to mark this. So DeMarcus Hill getting a little dump pass to the near right sideline. Late flag, though. I hope it's not against the Eagles. Definitely don't want to negate a good play for Hill. I still don't see where they're marking the ball yet. I think the officials forgot to do that on a dead ball foul instead. Carlsbad coach Sanders out on the field about 15, 20 yards now. I think it's going against the Eagles. You cannot get off the rocker here when you got a great play and then we turn around with a 15-yarder. If it's a dead ball, that's usually what it is. That was a 5-yard pass play for Hill. And now we're going to get that big mark off against the Eagles, it appears. Hill's first catch of the ball game.
And it seemed like one of the refs threw his hat off.
Yeah, sometimes if you've already thrown a flag and then there's another foul, you throw your hat. So maybe it's a double foul. Unsportsmanlike against the Eagles. And now we've got, we got 2 dead balls. I think we're going to cancel both of those. So a replay. That means you go ahead and subtract the yardage on that prior play too. Actually, no, that was a dead ball. So shouldn't affect the actual play. The play was done, so I don't think they're going to mark anything off here. They're just going to take it from where the play went because that was after the play was finished. Now they got to mark it off here. So they mark off the 15 against the Eagles. And they should be going back the other way now, I believe. Yep, now they're going back the other way. When there's their dead ball fouls just for the, wait a second, the Whitecap just stopped the official trying to mark the second one against Carlsbad. Big confusion now. The Whitecap stopped the official that was marking it against Carlsbad on the second penalty, and now they're going to make it back to the 13-yard line. Oh, that took about 20 minutes of time. Eagles have a 1st and 10. Need to get to about the 4-yard line for another first, but I think they're more thinking about the scoring play here to try to add on to that 10-point lead. It's been kind of dead for a while. 8:34 left here in the third. Hobbs up 17-7 over Carlsbad, and now it looks like we got a timeout, and I think the timeout's going to get called by Carlsbad because Coach Sanders is coming unglued on that far sideline to the Whitecap. Oh, boy, the Whitecap just kind of backpedaled away from the coach. Now the teams are standing on the field. Now he's running to the Hobbs Eagles sideline. I don't know what the heck's going on here. Looks like there's no timeout. Teams are going to stay out in their positions. Hobbs on the O and the White Carlsbad squad on the D. Hobbs will send 3 receivers left and 2 to the right side. Now we're getting off the line of scrimmage, and the Whitecap is peeling away and talking to one of his officials. Are the Eagles calling a timeout here? Boy, some confusion on the field, Sovereign. You don't know where to turn the camera, do you?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, man, there's a lot going on out here, man. So many plays, so many conversations, so many talks on the sideline, and so much, man, you just don't know. All you can do is just sit here and just watch.
Both teams have gone to their huddle, so I guess there's either a official timeout, team timeout, don't know. 8:34, I do know, left on the clock here in the third. Hobbs up 17-7 over Carlsbad. We're back in 30 on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Halloween night here at Watson Stadium. Ty Friend and Sovereign Anthony. And, boy, a lot of confusion out there. We had 2 dead ball penalties kind of wash out, both being marked off. Officials stopped one from being marked off, and they got everything back together. We thought we had a timeout. They said, no, get back out on the line of scrimmage. Now we've got an ambulance coming through here with all its lights on. Yep, there's an injury on the sideline. Maybe that was something extra we didn't see. Down at about the 15, out of bounds, though, there's an injury. Of course, the Eagles offense was out there, and looks like mostly an Eagles crew and staff down to help him. So that is appears to be a Hobbs injury. Now that didn't cause the confusion out on the field, though. That's kind of a late ending situation there. But I'm not sure if he's far enough off the field if they will actually start a play. That might have been the reason why we didn't know whether we were going to a timeout or not, too. Of course, I don't think it was Hill because Hill was about ahead of everybody. He went down, about the 5-yard line, and then we had some fisticuffs or something going on sports-like stuff in the back about the 15, about where the injury looks like it is right now, but it's out of bounds unless they carted him off. I don't know, but they do have the ambulance. All the lights are on. It doesn't look like a good situation here for Hobbs.
And you know what? I don't believe I see anybody twist an ankle or something like that. Could it be something, another like a health problem, you believe?
I don't know because they do have the stretcher out now, which usually is Morgan. And he could blow a knee, I guess, too, but hate to speculate. Still don't know who it is down flat on their back here. Hobbs up 17-7 with 8:34 left, third quarter. Final regular season game here tonight. Both teams will be in the playoffs. Hobbs for sure, and Carlsbad might be down towards the end. We got our next-door neighbor here, Marco, from KLMA, saying possibly a staff member went down there, a coaching crew member. We'll have to wait and see who that might have been. I'm kind of taking a span to see who might have gone down. I saw Coach Jett. He's back there, so I know the offensive line coach is not having an issue right here. Maybe he got ran into. That does happen sometimes, and players coming out of bounds and get run over, but Coach Stevens looks like he's down there walking, talking to a couple of the security they got moving down there. Yes, the stretcher is coming out, and they are working possibly with the coach at this point, or maybe a staff member of some sort. Of course, next week we don't know the situation for the Eagles in terms of whether they have a game or not. They'll find out Sunday morning. Hobbs, with a win tonight, will have a top 1 through 4 seed, more than likely 3rd or 4th. And that would be a bye next week, so it wouldn't be till the following week, of course, for the second-round quarterfinals, which would be a home game. So that's a good situation either way. If Hobbs would lose this game tonight, good chance they might have to go play next week, which would be at home. Still trying to see who this we might be able to tell you when they get them loaded on the stretcher here. But
who I don't see on the sideline right now, I don't see Coach Mills.
Okay, possibly. Hate to speculate here, but it's definitely going to be a delay. They're still working to get him up onto the stretcher. Well, looks like we just spotted Coach Mills. So we do have 8:34 left here in the third quarter. And, taking a look at some of the potentials of this district, for one thing, Hobbs definitely has a good advantage over Centennial. They're hoping Centennial does not beat Las Cruces in an upset, because if that happens, Centennial's still in contention for that second place. But if Hobbs wins tonight, that will close the deal. They will get that second seed or second place in the district. They beat them by 11, so that's a good thing to have that plus. Actually, they have an actual roof over that. Plus 10 is the most you can have for the tiebreaker for second place. So they do have 11 to win, so that would be a plus 10 for Hobbs. So they'd beat Centennial head-to-head in a second-place tie. And then, of course, Carlsbad gets himself a contention by beating Hobbs tonight, and that would kind of go to a point situation there. So they are still getting a coach into the ambulance now. We're hearing some more sirens around, too. So, unfortunately, cannot see who that is, and my binoculars aren't working too well tonight, so I don't think I'll be able to make a observation. They already got him in the ambulance, so we'll try to find out from somebody around here tonight. We'll take a quick 30-second break, get recollected here. 8:34 remaining in the third. Hobbs leading Carlsbad 17-7. Come back with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Ty Friend and Sovereign Anthony with you at Watson Stadium. Final game of the regular season. Eagles having an ambulance on the field right now. We're hearing it was not a coaching staff member now, maybe somebody that was on the sidelines and in some type of staff position. We're not sure about that. A lot of times they have principals down there, sometimes the media, photographers, etc. Don't want to even speculate, but we do know possibly not a coaching staff member. Hobbs does have the football as we get back to live action. They have a 1st and 10 from Carlsbad's 13, leading 17-7. Split formation backfield, shotgun for Medrano. He's going to hand it off left side of the line, and that's going to be Hill backpedaling for a few. Gets across the 10, and with that second effort, he's going down to close to the 8-yard line. So he's going to get 5 on that one. That second effort is what got him those extras. So Hill now with 3 carries for 9 yards. The Hobbs team on the sideline trying to get the fans more energetic because they were kind of quiet waiting to see what the problem was with the ambulance. 2nd down and 5 now from the 8-yard line. In the red zone, Twins left, receiver right. Give it off to the tailback, heading the right side, barreling his way. And it took a big hit from Carlsbad and hopefully got at least to the 5. He's going to continue to move the pile down to the 3-yard line. That should be a 1st down. About 5 or 6 on the play, more like 5, I believe. They unpile a big pile-up. Carlsbad threw a last-second shot there that kind of backed him up a bit.
And you know what? Great way to hold on to the ball with a hit like that.
They're going to pick up a flag. The officials got together. I think that was Hill again. So 5 yards for Hill. He's had 4 carries for 14 now. That was a 1st down. That'll be the 13th of the game for the Eagles. At the 3-yard line with 7:54 left, third quarter. 10-point Eagle lead, 17-7 over Carlsbad. Split formation backfield, receiver right and left. They'll start the clock once again. Shotgun to Medrano on the far right. He's going to kind of bobble it, hand off on the right side of the 5, and diving over the end zone, goal line on the right, and a somersault to put the icing on the cake for the touchdown. That will be Hill for a 3-yard scamper for the TD. The lights go out here in the end zone. So it looks like actually Seamus Wright instead of Hill. They switch it up there at the last second. 23-21. It doesn't matter. They'll take the 6. And it now 23-3 on the scoreboard. So 5 for Wright. That's his second touchdown of the ball game. He had a 13-yarder in the first half. And Braddock Beatty, who continues to add on to his record PATs, number 1 in the history of the Hobbs Eagle program, has put another one through.
And that's how you do it. You want to be able to run the ball like that in the end zone every time. Great touchdown by Seamus. And let's see if they can keep that consistency and that momentum, keeping it going throughout this whole final game.
7:49 left, third quarter. Eagles up 24-7 over Carlsbad. A bye next week in the playoffs on the line for the Eagles at home. Stay with us on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Hobbs Eagles kicking off, leading 24-3. And end over end, caught at the 12 for Carlsbad. Right hash 20, 25, 30, 35, and spun around helicopter style down to the 38-yard line. And the return man for Carlsbad was Even Leos, and I believe that was Javen Hernandez that got a grip on those shoulder pads from behind and just kind of rodeoed him into a big helicopter throwdown. But he did get some good field position at the 38, and Carlsbad needs to be a quick strike. They're down by 17, but still got some time left here with 7:43 left third quarter.
Yeah, man, and great stop by Hernandez because, hey, almost had an open field and almost was ready to go up the field, but great stop by him.
First down and 10 from the 38 for the Cavemen. Twins left, now making trips. They bring another receiver over. There'll be a shotgun for Munoz, has a man on his right shoulder right. Fakes it to right, throws it down the middle of the field, a zipper down to the 45, and the receiver wasn't ready for it. Goes through his hands, and then gets hit late. Hobbs might get a flag on that if they're not careful, as Robert Castaneda, I think his hand just went limp. He wasn't really knowing the ball was there yet. That was a hard shot right down the middle, about 5 yards across the line of scrimmage, and Hobbs hit a little late on that one.
Yeah, you know what? And then the receiver, when you get them footsteps behind you a little bit to know that, hey, they're coming towards your way, sometimes it kind of gets you nervous. You don't know whether to look out for the hitter or watch out for the ball.
Or make sure you have your head still on your shoulders at that point.
Yeah.
Second down and 10 from the 38. Twins left, receiver right. Back to a shotgun is Munoz. He's going to roll right, then cut up to the right hash of the run, 40, and gets flipped forward. Somersault turned into a cartwheel, but he gets some yards on that one. Looks like 6 that for Munoz. That's his 14th carry for 82 yards as he tries to get up close to that 100 mark. They only had 116 at the half, and he had 76 of that himself. Wright is usually the leading rusher for this squad, but Munoz is the leader tonight in the last hurrah for the regular season. Third down and 4 for the Cavemen. They have it at their own 43.5-yard line. Clock to 7 minutes left third quarter. Eagles up 24-7. Receiver left and right. Split formation backfield. In the middle is Munoz. Gives it to the left tailback. Tries to go right. He fumbles the football in the back of the back of the line of scrimmage. Eagles might have recovered it. They turned the lights out. You can't see who's got it. Hobbs football regardless. Boy, that was a mistake there. They should keep those lights on. And I see somebody that looks like he might be the guy that came down with it for Hobbs. He's dancing to the sideline. Joseph Reza, linebacker, might have been the guy that got the fumble. But regardless, the Eagles do have it. And again, another turnover for this Carlsbad squad. That is their third. 2 fumbles and an INT.
Man, you got to give it up for Hobbs' defense tonight, man. They've been stepping up, really improving, really showing their faces out here. And again, hey, if the offense come out here and score and move with that consistency, man, that could do it.
Hate if I was wrong on the recovery. They got those big flashing lights as soon as that fumble was up on the ground there. Eagles have it 1st and 10 at the Carlsbad 42. Shotgun to Medrano. He'll roll right. Keeps the run with it to the 45, 40, 35, near sideline right, and tiptoes out at the 32. Might be shy by about, well, maybe they gave him 10 on this one, maybe even more. They're going to say he's at the 32. That's about where he needed to have it. That's 10 yards for Medrano. They still haven't marked it yet. Nope, now they're going to do it. So Medrano will get that 10 yards. He's got 3 carries in the second half for 26 and 69 overall. 8 carries for the quarterback, and that will be the 14th first down. So Hobbs is trying to get some more insurance points, leading by 24-7. They were down 7-0 early, but they tied up the ball game. Beatty in motion right to left, twins left, receiver right, shotgun Medrano, handoff up the middle to the 30, and hurtling over a man and backpedaling to the 25. That is Seamus Wright, and he's got 7 more for the Eagles, and that kid's not going to go down easy.
And you know what, man? Seamus is a very strategic running back. You know, he makes sure to see things that are open. You know, he run a little slow. He looks for his linemen, you know, to be able to run behind them, look for his blocks, look for his opening, and that's what you do as a running back.
75 yards in rushing for Wright so far on 15 carries. 65 yards, I should say. He has 2 touchdowns of 13 and 5. 2nd down and 3 for the Eagles at the 25 of the Cavemen. Again, Beatty in motion to the right, to the left. He has got twins over there now. Back to pass, Medrano, pump fake, stays pocket, rolls right now to the 25 of the tuck, 20 near sideline right, and goes out of bounds at the 18. That kid always seems to know where to go to get the first down, and he'll get another one there.
And that's how you do it, you know, as a quarterback, and especially you being strategic to know, hey, okay, my guys are not open. Okay, I see an open lane. Let me go ahead and take it, and let's get the first down.
That's his 4th carry of the second half for 33 yards, now 76 overall. That'll be the 15th first down compared to 9 for Carlsbad. And they got 5 of theirs on the first drive of the ball game. 1st and 10 from the 17. On the right hash of the shotgun on the split formation. Eagles pull out of the play and look to the sideline. They've got 2 receivers left, 1 to the right, and 3 in the box for the Cavemen. Shotgun Medrano, 1-step drop. Pumps it, throws the post route down the middle of the end zone, incomplete through the outstretched hand. I thought he was going to kind of loft it out over to the far left. Instead, at the last second, let it fly to the middle of the end zone. Receiver was open. A little bit too much ump on that pass, and the receiver probably could have pulled that in. I'm not sure he was quite aware if that was coming to him or not, because it kind of looked like a little flinch to the left. Instead, he nails it down the middle. And was that Beatty that was coming up with the post route there? Yes, it was.
And you know what, man? He almost caught it with one hand. He kind of had a little Odell right there going, you know. Man, it could have been something great.
That's the kind you have to shake the hand coming back to the line of scrimmage, though. That hit pretty hard off the fingertips. 2nd down and 10. Eagles need to get to the 8-yard line, currently at the 20. Make it the 18. Back to pass. Medrano gets a rush, throws it in the right flat, caught at the 15. 10, a cutback to the 5, and Hill across the 5 down to the 3-yard line. He's going to pick up, looks like 15 for DeMarcus Hill. Let's see, about 13 for Hill on that one. His 2nd catch for 18, all coming in the second half. Eagles, like you mentioned earlier, starting to open up that passing game, Sovereign. Now are 9 of 17 in the air.
Hey, and that's how you do it, and you know. But I guess it was a flag on Hobbs.
Oh, boy, they take a little bit of time to make these calls here. That's a 10-yarder, and I believe that's their first penalty of the ball game. They had that holding earlier that was declined, so I'm sorry to have to erase the 13 for Hill. That would have been his 2nd catch. And now a 2nd down and 20. Eagles will be moved back, still in Carlsbad territory, but at the 27-yard line. 5:33 left here in the 3rd. Eagles up 24-7. Man in motion is right. He'll get it going from right to left around the end. 30, puts on the brakes, cuts up the left hash. 25, cuts it back again, and is barreled down hard. He's going to be about 6 or so on the forward progress. So Wright's gotten 4 carries, make it 5 in this second half. 24 yards in the second, and 71 overall on 16 carries. Brings up a 3rd down and 14. Ball marked at the 22 of the Cavemen on the left hash. Eagles taking their time as they check the sideline for the play call. Clock underneath 5 minutes left, 3rd quarter. And a 17-point lead. Trips right, now make it 4 on the right side receiving core, 1 on the left. Madrano by himself in the backfield. Takes the shotgun snap. He wants to roll right to the flood receivers. Throws a high out route, but near the sideline. No chance to come down with it. Of course, only 1 foot has to come down in high school football. But boy, Justice French leaped up there Superman style to try to bring it down. But that thing was still high up on the ladder.
And you know what? You know he's known for catching them sideline catches. He always had great sideline catches throughout the season. And so, hey, for that ball to be a little bit overthrown, if it wasn't, that would have been his ball.
It brings up a 4th down. You kind of expect to see Beatty to come out here already with a 17-point lead. Wait to see if he does that or not. Looks like he will. Of course, he had a little bit of a pull on his thigh on the last attempt at the field goal, and it came off a little bit to the right. This will be marked down with a 29, so that would be a 39-yard field goal attempt. As it will be McCauley's going to step up and throw it over 2. Beatty on the right side of the fake, throws it to the end zone, or to the 5, I should say, but just short. Coming back for it was Justice French, flattened his body. That would have been a 1st down because he came back to about the 8 or so yard line. That was where the 1st down would have been. But it was thrown flat. He kind of flattened his body out as well, coming back to the football, trying to get his hands underneath it. But a little trickery for Coach Stevens. Instead of going for the field goal, they went for it, but turned over on downs.
You know what? I believe that was Hernandez.
Oh, who, throwing the football? Or
no, actually receiving the
football.
Was
that Javen?
Yeah.
Incomplete regardless. That will be a turnover on downs for the Eagles. Carlsbad football at the 22. They trail 24-7. 1st and 10 on the right hash. Split formation backfield, receiver left and right. A little bit of bobble on the snap. Handoff around the left end, stretching it out to the left side of the 20. 25, and brought down at the 30-yard line. That's 8 yards. And that is the running back, their premier running back, Wright. Not Seamus, but the Carlsbad Wright. That's only his 1st carry here in the second half for 8. He's got 9 for 28 overall. Not a big night for him, but a 2nd down and 2 for the Cavemen at their own 30 on that left hash, but they trail by 17. Carlsbad have 2 receivers right, 1 to the left side. Eagles have 3 in the box, leaving a big left side of the line. Now they're going to bring another guy over there. They're playing band music during a live ball. That's not allowed even, and taking the run himself up the middle, the quarterback, that's Munoz. He dives, trying to get to a 1st down, but I think he's going to be shy by about a yard. They'll give him 1 on the play. I'm kind of surprised they're letting the band play right now during a live ball. 15 carries so far for Munoz and 83 yards overall.
And what the defense do not want is they don't want this. They don't want Carlsbad to feel like they got an advantage to be able to come back, because it will not look good if that happens.
3rd down and 1 from the 31 of the Cavemen. Big play for him here. Twins right, receiver left. Back to that split formation. Shotgun Munoz high, tucks it, goes. Keeper up the middle, trying to take on the Eagles by himself. Angling left and gets across the 35. That 2nd push got him there. He's going to get 6 on the play. 3 carries in the second half for 13 and 89 overall to move the chains for the Cavemen. Their 10th 1st down. Coming over to stop for the Eagles from the linebacking core for Hobbs. That was Gavin McPherson. Glad to see him back tonight after dealing with a shoulder injury the last couple of weeks. 1st and 10 now for the 37 of the Cavemen. Left hash, Twins right with a slot right. Receiver on the short side as well in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench left. Back to pass, 5-step drop, rolling right. Munoz puts on the brakes, continues to the far sideline, throws the out route, a catch made in the crouch at the 45. Getting down close to the ground there, knees bent towards the turf. An 8-yard pickup on that far right sideline.
Again, it seems like Cavemen, they're trying to move up the field a little bit, and so with the Hobbs defense, you want to make sure nothing get past you or nothing run past you. So you want to kind of get stopped here, because once the team get the momentum going, you don't want that fire to keep going up where they keep moving down the field.
8-yard pass for Lopez, 2nd catch for 12 yards. They're 5 of 10 in the passing game. 2nd down and 2 now from the 45 of the Cavemen. Twins left, receiver right, shotgun. It's going to be Munoz, fakes the option, takes it himself across the 50 around the right hash, and is buried down just into Hobbs territory about the 49. That will be a 1st down. He'll get 6, make it 7 for the quarterback. Did a good job of just holding it for a second, Kind of got this secondary kind of wondering what he was going to do, maybe flip it out to that far right sideline, decided to tuck and go, and got what he needed to move the chains for the 11th time for the Cavemen. He's got 96 yards, 13, make it 17 carries for him, the quarterback. 1st and 10 now from the Eagle 48. Clock runs at 2:20 left, third quarter. Hobbs up 24-7. Trips left, receiver right. Shotgun to Munoz. Handoff around the right end to right. Across the 45, far right sideline to the 40, and runs into the sticks, the first down marker, but I think he was shy by about a yard. And he ran right into the stick. They didn't get it dropped to the ground quick enough. Looks like he's short by a yard on that one. That was Wright's second carry in the second half. He's got 37 yards overall on 10 carries of the game.
You know what, man? They love running to the side a little bit. So, man, as an outside linebacker or a corner, you want to be able to get there. Like in basketball, you want to be able to cut that baseline off and cause them to run up the middle so your linebackers can come in and be able to make a play.
2nd down and 1 now from the Eagle 39 on the right hash. 2 receivers left and right for the Cavemen. They'll bring one in motion right to left. Back to pass, a screen to that motion man back in the left. He throws it back to his quarterback on the right side. Munoz at the 40, 35, 30, far right, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5 to the end zone, touchdown. Boy, that's going to be a big one. Be a total of 39 yards for the score.
Wow, wow, wow.
That was a quarterback throwback basically on the play as a QB Munoz threw it to his left side, and then the receiver turned and threw back to him. I believe that was Hernandez going back to Munoz for 39 yards of the touchdown up that far right sideline. So quarterback going to get in the books as the receiving end that time for 39. The kick is up, and the kick is off to the left. No good. You could tell it shanked off his foot that time. And that might be a problem there, making it 24-13. Hobbs, though, still up by 11 with 1:59 to left in the third. And a trick play scoring the Cavemen into the end zone to break 0 on the scoreboard for them in the third quarter. We'll take a quick 30-second break. Come back with more Hobbs Eagle football on Colt 95.7, HobbsAmerica.com, and YouTube. We're back live here at Watson Stadium. Ty friend Sovereign Anthony with you. Tiffany Stewart back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles leading 24-13, up by 11 after a quarterback throwback for the Carlsbad Cavemen. A little trickery gets them back on the scoreboard, Soft.
Yes, man, and that was a play right there. You got to give it to him, man. It kind of faked me a little bit, so I know I got the players on the field. But, hey, hopefully the offense can come out here and be able to get this ball moving forward so they would be more back in the safe zone because they don't want to allow this team to be able to come back.
Of course, Carlsbad still has an extra quarter to go. Fourth quarter on the way, about 2 minutes away, 1:59 to be exact, as we get ready for the kickoff for the Cavemen, Lennon Ananans, as he'll kick from the 40. Keeps it kind of low, squib to the far left sideline, caught at the 29, brought to the 35 of outside the left hash in front of the Carlsbad bench, but not much on the return, about 5 or so return for the Eagles. So Hobbs now with that 11-point lead and trying to win their final regular season game here at home. I think that was Hill with the return for the Eagles. 1:53 left in the third. Again, 24-13 Hobbs. Eagles will break their huddle on the near sideline and head back to the far left hash at the 36. Boy, they look like the Carlsbad coach, Coach Sanders, out there trying to get the referee's attention for something. He's okay now, it looks like. Eagles will send 2 receivers right and 2 to the left side. Twin looks on both, as waiting for the shotgun is Medrano. Turns and fires a screen, coming back for a French on the near right side. Nice head fake to the 40 and goes down at the 42. As he'll get, looks like, about 5 yards for the Eagles. All 4 of his catches in this second half. He's got a total now of 27 yards on 4 receptions. Eagles are now 9 of 19 in the passing game.
And you got to give it to him. Sometimes, catching the post route, the screen route, it's kind of hard to get up the field, but he's been moving up.
Actually giving him 6 on the play, now at the 41 of the Eagles. Shotgun back to Medrano, trips right, receiver left. Another screen to the right side, this time thrown in the grass, or the field turf, I should say. Zubia, he tried to lunge forward and make the catch, but it was thrown about a yard in front of him, and right to the green that time. No chance to get the shovel out on that one. So incomplete on the play. 3rd down and about 4 for the Eagles at their own 42. There'll be 3 receivers on the short side, right on the front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. One to the far left is French. Shotgun to Medrano. He'll tuck, go up the middle to the 45, puts his head down, stutter steps, and comes across midfield into Carlsbad territory at the 48. And he's going to get about 10 on that one, does the quarterback for the Eagles. Medrano matching his best run in the second half. He had a 10 earlier. Total of 86 yards on the ground, now 9 carries. Again, he's had, 6 100-yard rushing games in a row. 7 would put him higher up on the chart for Hobbs Eagle history. I'll have to double check on that one. I know the sports editor for the Hobbs Sun, Jason Farman, keep me up on these numbers all week long. I'll get that for you here in just a second. It's a first down for the Eagles. They're 16th of the game. The handoff on the right side toward the sideline right into 45 to the 44. So Wright will pick up 5 at the 44.
And you know what? You gotta give it to him because he know how to move up the field. You know, Medrano, you know Seamus, man, he know how to be able to get through holes and be able to get it there. So you got to be able to clap it up for him.
Eagles a hurry-up offense now. Twins left and right. 2nd down and 5 from the 43 of the Cavemen. Right hash. Twins left and right. Shotgun. Fakes a handoff. 1-step drop. Go with the little out route at the 32, but it's overthrown to the Hobbs Eagle bench high in the air as Beatty tried to get up for it, but incomplete. So it brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Eagles, still in Carlsbad territory. And we're talking about Medrano in terms of what he has done so far this season. 100-yard rushing games, he had 6. Now he is currently, he'd be, if he gets 100 yards in this game, that would be his 7th, which would move him up to 5th place all time for Hobbs Eagle history. So definitely would love to get that. He would move ahead of Eddie Jackson for 20 years. That's 2005. So really nice to see that happen. Medrano gets a last-second handoff, and it's going to get dropped behind the line of scrimmage. A big loss, about 4 or 5 yards on that one. As that was given to Seamus Wright. Might have been a little bit of a mishandle back there. And the man to come up there to make a big bear hug wrap-up for the Carlsbad Cavemen was Connor Roberson. So that'll be a loss of 4 on the play for Wright. Never really had a chance in the backfield. That will end the 4th quarter of action, or 3rd quarter of action. It's still Hobbs 24, Carlsbad 13. We'll take a quick 30-second breather. Come back with more Hobbs Eagle football on the Hobbs Eagle Network. We're starting the 4th quarter here at Watson Stadium. Eagle football on a 4th down and 8 to go. They're going to punt the ball away for the first time tonight from the 50-yard line. It'll be a short one, but it comes down like a jackhammer. Caught at the 23, brought across the 25 to the 26. Kind of catching it in traffic there, taking a chance on that one for Carlsbad as the return man was Ty Young. So the first punt of the game for the Hobbs Eagles.
And you know what, man, with the offense, with the Cavemen offense coming back out here, man, the Hobbs defense is going to really have to put pressure and be able to be able to make a stop because, hey, by them being able to, stop the offense and it being 24-13, man, you don't want them to have that advantage to be able to come out here and believe they can come back.
Well, the Eagles scoring in this ball game, Seamus Wright had a touchdown in the first quarter, made it 7-7, tying up the Cavemen. Madrano added a 6-yard run in the first half. Then a 22-yard field goal for Braddock Beatty. Hobbs up 17-7. Third quarter, Wright scores again on a 5-yard run, and then a 39-yard quarterback to the receiver, back to the quarterback play to Munoz, made it 24-13. That's where we're at right now in the fourth. They'll start from the 26. They'll go with a reverse to the right side, way outside of the 20, and try to shimmy away up the near sideline across to the 26. A lot of lateral running that time on the reverse, but not much on the positive yard gain. Maybe just 1 yard on that one, as coming around the right side for Carlsbad was Castaneda.
And you know what? I get it, man. You want to be able to confuse the defense and know what you are doing. But, too many, reverses and stuff like that can cause a fumble too as well. So you want to kind of be cautious on that and everything, because you don't want the defense to be able to attack that and be able to get their mind on that.
Tell you what, though, Castaneda has been shut down in the air game. Yeah, he came into this contest as a receiver, 850 yards and 11 touchdowns out of the 12 passing touchdowns for Carlsbad this season. Tonight, he's only 2 for 17 on reception, so passing games have been stripped from him. 2nd and 11, trips left, receiver right, handoff to the left side, and met in the backfield. That's going to be a deadly loss of about 5 or 6 yards. That was right, and boy, did he get walloped back there. A couple guys in there quickly for Hobbs. Double checking some numbers as we speak. I saw the big man in there. I'm not sure if he got initial wrap-up or not, Mike Meredith, but I think Jeremiah Mackey was in there as well. Not counted as a sack. He's already the sack leader, thanks to Mr. Farmer there back in the Hobbs Sun, reminding us that he had a sack tonight. He needed 1 tonight, at 8.5 coming in, got the 1 tonight. He is the highest number of sacks for a season for a Hobbs Eagle football player, and he got that one just plenty of a wrap-up there for -5. For Wright for Carlsbad. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and 15 now from the 21. Shotgun back to Munoz. A 4-step drop. Fires the post route, but behind his receiver. That was Castaneda. He was heading from right to left and couldn't get it because it was behind him on his back right hip that time. Trying to reach back for it, but boy, he's not getting a lot of opportunities tonight the way he used to.
Yes, man, and that right there, man, that'll do it. That'll put them at 4th down. And so, again, sometimes you can be able to be blessed with a, opportunity, and sometimes you don't take advantage of the opportunity. And so, again, here's a punt.
Carlsbad 6 of 12 in the passing game, just 50% on the completions. As you mentioned, the punt coming here. They punted once already, turnover on downs, an interception, a fumble, another fumble. This one will be away from the 5. And it'll be caught at the 39 of the Eagles, going hard, but then backpedaling and getting walloped after that. The return man for the Eagles, wish he probably would have cut to the sideline that time. That was Adrian Mora. But good field position regardless for the Eagles, as they're going to have it near the 40-yard line. And I think you want to get some icing on the cake here. I mean, this 11-point lead is kind of touch and go, and just get in the end zone, and let's get this a W and get that bye next week.
Yes, most definitely. That's what you want to do. So you want to be able to move strategic from here on out. As a coach, you want to be able to make plays that can be able to get you in a safe zone, make a touchdown, or even make plays that'll get the clock moving, but also nothing that'll get you stopped to have the offense come back out on the Cavemen.
How about the cleanup on penalties tonight for the Eagles? I only have them down for 1. I don't think I've missed anything at this point.
Hey.
That shows what the scoreboard is. You got a lead and doing pretty well by 11. At the 40, 1st and 10. Eagle football, receiver left and right. Split formation backfield for Hobbs. We've seen that most of the ball game. Madrano's the right guy, though, in the backfield. Fakes the pitch, goes around the right end of the 40. Used the block to the 43. And they might have got him down a little bit sooner. Wait and see what we got here. Yep, 3 yards for Madrano. He's had 6 carries here in the second half for 46 yards, 89 overall. Again, he needs 11 more to move up to 4th on the all-time list for 100-yard games. 6 so far would make it 7 tonight if he can get there. 2nd down and 8. Looks like they only gave him 2 on that one. Shotgun to Madrano. This time going to tuck. It's 2 of his running backs to block around the left end. 30, 45, 50, 45 of Carlsbad and run out of bounds there. That's going to be 13 plus. We'll see where they're going to mark it. Oh, it's going to be 6 more. 19 for Madrano to move the chains for the Eagles. And that'll make it 17 first downs for Hobbs, as once again in Carlsbad territory.
And like you said, it's just like he knows where to get the first down and know where to go to get that first down.
So have it now at the, again, 43-yard line of the Cavemen on the left hash. Eagles letting the clock run. Nope, he got out of bounds, actually. Stopping at 10:07. 4 on the front line now for Carlsbad. Hobbs Eagle offense looking to the sideline to see if they're going to change a call or not. Never know what's going to happen here. Receiver right, one to the left. Toronto points to the right gap there, making sure the Eagles know to make a block on these linebackers moving up. They pull out of the play again and look to the sideline. Field clock down to 9 seconds, and Coach Stevens calls a timeout. Eagles kind of make a read on that defense and didn't like what they saw. I want to talk about it. 10:07 left here in the fourth. Hobbs up 24-13. A first-round bye in the playoffs on the line for the Eagles at home tonight. Final regular season game at Watson Stadium. Back with you in 30 seconds. .07 left here at Watson Stadium. Fourth quarter, regular season wrapping up here. Ty friend Sovereign Anthony with you. Eagles get right back to the defense, correction offense here at the Carlsbad 43. Left hash. Again, they've got 17 first downs in this ball game as they get ready for the shotgun. They got a receiver left and right. Split formation backfield, delay handoff, up the gut, and then try to cut back, but stopped right near the line of scrimmage with an ankle tackle there. That was a Seamus Wright, and got swiped quickly. Not much he could do on that one. Hopefully he doesn't mess with that ankle too much there. The man that got the swipe on the ankle was Sean Cruz, the defensive lineman, just a sophomore. It doesn't look like they're giving him any on that one. Going to break up a second down and 10 from the 43. Back to the shotgun, Medrano. Gives a handoff up ahead to the 40 and plowing through the 40 to the 38. That's going to be Hill this time, going to mix it up a little bit. They're going to give him 4 on that one for Hill. That's his third carry for 14 in the second half. 5 overall for 18 yards. Again, we mentioned too, a lot of different options in that backfield for the Hobbs Eagles. Hill came in with 693 yards this season into this game. Seamus Wright, 518. Medrano, 1,199. Third down and 7 now from the 40. Shotgun Medrano fakes a pitch left, heads up the middle, bangs into a couple defenders across the 35, down to the 33, and he's going to be close to that first down. He needed to get to the 33. Started at the 39, so it got close to 6. We'll make sure that's what it's going to be here. They don't give it to him, be about 5.5, very close. Is the Whitecap just going to eye spot? Nope, giving him the first down.
He know how to get the first down, and be able to get in there, So, man, you got to give it to Medrano. He will get up the field, and he will make a play.
7 yards on that one brings the first down to number 18 of the game at the 33-yard line. Split formation backfield, shotgun Medrano. This time going to hand off up the middle across the 30. And a bunch of blocking for the Hobbs Eagles. Boy, did you see that lineman for the Eagles just knock his guy back about 15 yards to make room for that play. And that was Isaiah Morales doing the go-ahead on that one. Was that Seamus? I think Seamus had that one. He got 8 up to the 26-yard line. So 8-4, Seamus Wright.
Great blocking by the offensive line.
Second down and 2 now from the 26. Split again in the backfield. Shotgun Medrano. He comes around the left end, tucks it under his bicep to the 25, and strung that out of bounds. Trying to get close to the 20. He needed to get to the 24, so plenty enough for the first down. Looks like 6 for him on that one to move the chains. I don't like to see him lunge to that sideline. We saw him go down with an injury near the pylon, trying to lunge for a touchdown earlier in this game. That's going to be the 19th first down. And, boy, the Eagles get a lot more consistency as this game is moving along.
And that's great improvement right there. You want to be able to have that consistency going and be able to get first down after first down because it gets you closer to the red zone. So improving and having that consistency is always key.
First and 10 from the 20.5-yard line. Eagles on the left hash, keeping that clock running as they do have a 11-point lead over Carlsbad, 24-13 with 7:59 remaining as they wait for the shotgun from Medrano. 3 in the backfield. Two-step drop. He wants to throw. Lofts it to the left corner of the end zone. Spiral. His defender face guarding him and put his hand up at the last second. A little bit of a push there. They're going to call the PI, and that's going to go against Lennon and Ninens. He's also the kicker. And I think Justice French knew that call was coming. He was being face guarded, which you can do now. The last couple of seasons, that's been allowed as long as you don't make contact. But you saw that hand extend at the last second, and French got the call he wanted. That'll be going to be half the distance, though. They needed to get it to the 11. So we're going to see where that it was at the 21. So that would be a 10.5 yard line, and it should be enough for the first down. Moving the chains, that is a first down. So about 10 yards if you go with the half the distance stuff. So another tack on here for penalties for Carlsbad. First down from the 11.5 yard line for the Eagles on the left hash. Split formation, 7:54 left. Shotgun Medrano. Last second handoff to the left side of the line. Boy, he just barely got it rolled off his fingertips to his running back, but I don't know if there's going to be much on that one. And hit hard quickly, Seamus Wright. I don't think he got maybe back to the line of scrimmage if he's lucky. They're going to mark it back to about the 11, so inches of a gain there at all, if at all. So Seamus Wright, no gain on the play. Maybe a second down situation. Now they're moving the chains. Well, I guess they gave him a yard for a first down. It was a 1st and 1, and now it's going to be a first down. So that's 20 first downs. They'll have it at the 11-yard line. Eagles looking to the sideline, getting some signals from coaching staff now. Changing things up just a bit. Shotgun. Going to be a handoff run the left end of the 10. A nice stiff arm and out at the 5-yard line. That went from the 11 down to the 5, a 6-yard pickup. Thanks to that stiff arm at the last second. Is that DeMarcus Hill? Oh, make it Seamus Wright. 23 versus 21 mess I always have a problem with. 6 yards for Wright. They still can get a first down near the 1-yard line, currently at the 5, and Hobbs just lets that clock run. They know they got the cushion at this point. And unfortunately, he did get out of bounds. It does stop the clock, so I should correct that. 6:59 remaining. Again, Sunday, the New Mexico Activities Association will announce the seedings for the 12 teams that make the 6A playoffs. Quick snap to Medrano. He uses his blockers to the left side, angling towards the pylon, spins and knocked out near the 1. About 4 yards on that one for Medrano, exactly in that spot that we saw in that first half where he was drilled hard and had McCool having to come in for him for a few plays.
Yeah, you definitely want to be careful, especially when, that's the side and that's the place where you kind of got a little hurt a little bit. You want to kind of be strategic a little bit, but I say run up the middle a little bit.
Yeah, keep away from that sideline. And 3rd down and 1. Again, the first down about the 1.5 yard line is where they need to get at the 2.5 right now. Got out of bounds again, so that's one thing you kind of wonder about. Would like to get this clock continue to move here just a bit, give less time for Carlsbad to work with, especially if you score another touchdown at the end of this drive. Eagles walk back to their positions. Receiver left and right. The head linesman on the far right is got a coach waiting for him over there. Not a happy camper, I guess. Coach Sanders for Carlsbad. Here we go at the run play to the left side, and there goes Medrano diving over the goal line as he'll ramble in for about 2 yards on the run. Use his running backs. He's been using those quite frequently out of the backfield and into the end zone for another 6. Eagles extend the lead to 17.
And that's how you do it. That's how you get into the end zone.
So Medrano picking up his first touchdown rushing of the ball game. Already been 2 for Seamus Wright, now 1 for Medrano. He did have a 31-yard rush in the first half as we wait for the PAT for Braddock Beatty. Little delay on the snap. Good hold for McCool. Kick is up, and the kick is good. A little more breathing room for the Eagles with 6:46 left here in the 4th. 31-13, Hobbs up by 18 points. Be back with us live with the Hobbs Eagle Network in 30 seconds.
No, you're good. 60.
You want to
He's
pull
using the
60
restroom.
again? Hold it like the rest of us.
Man, my legs are killing me.
You're too tall to be in that boob style.
Mm.
15. 10. 5. 3, 2, 1, go.
What do we got?
10 seconds. 5.
Back live after a kickoff for the Hobbs Eagles. Young, the return man for Carlsbad. 6:38 left, fourth quarter. Hobbs up 31-13. So good field position. Looks like also a penalty against the Eagles. And looks like they got a big one. 15-yarder against the Eagles, who've been very good at keeping away from the handkerchiefs in this ballgame. I think that's just the second penalty for 25 here. But it gives the football to the Cavemen at their Eagle 43-yard line on the right hash. And not what you want to do. You do have an 18-point lead, but there is 6:38 remaining, so Carlsbad trying to claw their way back into this one. Trips left, and a split formation backfield. Shotgun to Munoz. Delay handoff up the middle. Zigging out to the right, and trying to backpedal is going to be Wright. Brock Wright is might be lucky to get a forward progress 1 yard. Eagles trying to rip that ball out that time and pounding it with their fists. And the guy that almost got it loose, but then they blew him dead on the run. Devin Ruiz was in there. He picked off a pass earlier. They're going to give 1 yard to Brock Wright. He's only had 4 carries in the second half for a total of 13 yards and 33 overall. Second down and 9 from the Eagle 42. Shotgun to Munoz. Handoff on the left side to Wright. He's going to get met in the backfield. Breaks the tackle, but then just swapped under. He'll lose about 5 yards on that one in the backfield. Bunch of guys in there for the Eagles. Double checking to see who all we got back there. A full house. Devin Ruiz is in there. Looks like an injury for the Eagles. Also back there, Jeremiah Mackey. And somebody flat on his stomach at this point near the 50-yard line. We'll have to wait and see who that is. Looks like they're not giving him as much as I thought. 4-yard loss for Wright. Again, this is Brock Wright for the Cavemen, not Seamus Wright for the Eagles.
And you know what, man? Again, one player cannot just do everything by himself. You know, maybe the Cavemen coach may need to go back to the passing game a little bit more. You know, get it there a little bit because you got great receivers on the out too as well. But it is some games still going on around the Lee County area. We already got, you know, some games that's already ended. Both games that's already ended. We had Lovington 54 and Santa Teresa 0, which was a mercy rule in the third quarter. Then we also had a game, Eunice versus Jow. Eunice 62, Jow 13, which is the final score, 62-13.
So official timeout. Double checking the number here for the injury for the Eagles. I believe that's Joseph Reza, the linebacker. And boy, Hobbs has had a lot of linebackers going down. You know, this season. Of course, we got one back tonight, Gavin McPherson with a shoulder injury. But Blackman came in a couple of weeks ago at Clovis as our top tackler went down with an injury and is out for the season with an ACL. They're down and 12 now from the Eagle 46. And we got a jump from the line of scrimmage here. It looks like the Eagles might have been drawn off, but I'm not sure they're going to find that for Carlsbad or not. Looks like a false start called on the Cavemen. Also, Aiden Gloom, of course, he was the guy that went down in Clovis, had an ACL tear, and he's out for the season. He led the team in that right into that Clovis game with 92 tackles and came out in the first quarter, and that's when Blackman was brought in as a sophomore. Of course, we just mentioned another linebacker going down too, so boy, that has been a kind of a headache for Coach Stevens trying to keep his guys healthy out there. And now it's going to be a first down and 18 for Carlsbad after a 5-yard penalty. Ready for a shotgun is Munoz. Trips left, receiver right, back to the 38. 5-step drop, rolls right. He wants to throw, gets hammered as he lets loose. Curl route down to the Eagle 36, but it's low into the turf, incomplete. Not able to dig it out for the Cavemen, the receiver on that one. And that was Braden Flores on the attempt, but problem was the quarterback got crunched and he let go of the football.
Yeah, man, and again, it was a little bit too low, and because, of that, again, hey, he's trying to throw it to the pass game a little bit, but unfortunately, the punt team is going to have to come back out.
They punted a couple of times in this game, have had three fumbles. 4th down for Carlsbad, 4th and 18. They're at their own 49-yard line, trailing by 18 with 5:47 remaining. Carlsbad came into this contest with a 5-4 record, 3-2 in the district. Eagles at 7-2 and 4-1 in the district. Eagles with a 1-game lead. And with the win here tonight, should be in the top 4 for the seeding. Fake punt. They're going to run around the right end, 35-40, and out of bounds. Boy, didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage that time. That's a 4-yard loss as it was calculated there. Guy that was going to punt it was going to be that receiver, Robert Castaneda, but ends up taking a 4-yard loss on that one and a turnover on downs.
And you know what? I thought it was going to be like a little trick play for them to get all the way up the field, to be able to get back to the first down. But I guess the play didn't go as promised.
So Hobbs will get it back in Carlsbad territory at their 45 on the left hash. 5:41 remaining. Eagles going to run some clock, you can expect. Of course, Hobbs down early in this one, 7-0. A sustained drive for Carlsbad in the first quarter where they picked up 5 first downs and scored off a running play. Eagles tied up at 7, then took a 14-7 lead and 17-7 at the half after a field goal from Beatty. Twins left, no receivers right, shotgun. Handoff from Medrano to the middleman and around the left side and get thrown out of bounds near the 40. So about a 5-yard pickup, and that's going to be Hill. Goes out of bounds, and again, that's happened. No, wait a second. The ref, I think, went ahead and said he was staying in. His butt must have hit right before he went out of bounds.
Yeah.
So that's going to be about a 4-yard pickup for Hill. As he's got 22 yards now on 6 carries, does DeMarcus Hill. 2nd down and 6 now from the Carlsbad 41. Of course, the Eagles have no urgency to start the play. They're going to let that field clock run and the play clock run at the same time here. And once again, he got his butt down before he slid out of bounds. Hobbs will put a receiver left and right, French and Beatty. Split formation backfield, shotgun. Medrano clapping his hands, gives the ball off to the right side. I believe that's Nelson who just checked in, number 20. Or actually, no, not 20. Would that be, is that Seamus? It was Seamus, right? 21. Not sure if he got back to line of scrimmage. Looks like maybe 1 yard on the play for Seamus. Of course, Seamus with 2 rushing touchdowns in the contest.
And you know what? With a score like this, Ty, would you leave the first string in, or would you start putting in second string?
I think I got 4 minutes. You could probably put some guys in there. 87 yards, by the way, for Seamus Wright tonight. 3rd down and 5 from the 40. Middle of the field for the Eagles. Letting that game clock run down a little bit more as well. No reason to hurry this thing up with a 18-point lead. Field clock down to 10. Hobbs going to get that W in the books here to make it 8 on the season, 8-2 record. Oh, we got a left man on the side of the line jumping right before the snap. He could wait no longer. They're going to get Max Garcia, I believe, on false start there. A bit of a hesitation step. Not a lot of penalties, though, for the Eagles. I believe that's their 3rd for 30 yards, so have really cleaned up that number. We had some games over 100, 150 yards, even wins that's happened, and this last home game, at least for the regular season, that has not been an issue here as Hobbs still leads by 18, 3:49 remaining. Back him up 5, and now back to the 45 of Carlsbad. Eagles need to get to the 35, 10 yards. Split backfield, receiver left and right. Still French and Beatty there. Medrano in the middle of his running backs. He's going to roll left, looking like he wants to throw. He'll continue to advance the ball, and boy, a little dangerous running here this late in the game with this lead. I'm kind of catching my breath a little bit. How about you, Sovereign, as he's dropped in the backfield, but gets his head down and taking on defenders. I'm getting a little bit nervous about that. It's going to be about a 3-yard pickup, but he's still behind the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, man, you kind of just want to be cautious, especially with a time like this, man. You're up 31-13. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left. I mean, you just want to kind of just be smooth with it and kind of just be smart moving on forward.
He was showing like he was going to pass as he rolled out to French's left side here in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench, but decided to tuck and go. 4th down and 12 for the Eagles as they have it at the 47-yard line in Carlsbad territory. Got to go for it, at least the shotgun. Now he's going to back up and punt, and it will be Medrano booting it from his own 48. It's an end over end and kind of hits hard down at the 20 and takes an Eagle roll past the 10 and continues to roll. They get out the broomsticks here and try to air it down. They do get it to the 6-yard line. So that'll pin back the Cavemen with not a lot of time left, Sovereign. 2:44 left. Eagles up by 18.
Yeah, man. The Cavemen, they're going to have to do something, man, move up the field or do something. But I believe that with a time like this and the clock still running, clock still moving, 31-13, you can go hard. You can keep it going just for the, the game, the football game overall. But I don't know. It might not be no coming back from this.
And plus the other fact is that they're going to have to use the sideline to get out of bounds, too. Little out routes and get some good heavy-duty positive yardage. You don't want to be caught on the field and have to jump back up and get on the line with the clock running. They'll have it at their own 6-yard line. Ready for the first snap from Munoz. They bring a receiver to the far near right sideline. Now a man in motion coming to the right. Back to pass Munoz. 2-step drop, 2 yards deep in the end zone. Fires a post route to the 15 and brought down to the 19. That'll be on a 12-yard pickup. There's Castaneda, who's had a quiet night as a receiver at least. 3rd catch for 29 yards. 7th overall reception out of 14 attempts. That will be the 12th first down for Carlsbad now at their own 24. Everything reset. Twins right and left, 2-3-step, 4-step drop for Munoz, flushed out of the pocket, heading right. He's being chased pretty hard. Amron Wheeler behind him, gets past him and about 3 other guys up to the 30-yard line of the near sideline, right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. That's an 11-yard pickup for Munoz. That'll move the chains again, 13 in the game.
And they're trying to move up a little bit. I mean, hey, like you said, for them to be able to have that at least opportunity, you got to do a little more out routes, step out of bounds a little bit for them to be able to move up the field to get red zone to red zone.
First down and 10 from their own 30 for Carlsbad on the right hash. Trips left, receiver right. Fake the handoff. Munoz to the pump fake, rolls right with pressure on. 2 guys after him. Now 3rd, now a 4th. Eagles probably going to wrestle him down to the ground. And that was Amron Wheeler that time. They got the bear hug from behind. It'll be a 2-yard loss as he drops Munoz to the field turf. A timeout for the Cavemen. Hey, boy, a close game in Las Cruces tonight. Nail-biter. Cruces defeats Centennial 31-21. So that will drop Centennial to 7-3 in the overall records. And that will be their second loss, too. They lost, of course, to Hobbs earlier this season, nobody else. So they are 7-3. Las Cruces improves to 10-0 overall and undefeated in district as well. They should remain the number 1 seed, you would think, for next week in terms of the playoffs, which means a bye in the first week of the action. But again, 31-21, Cruces with the win. They will be the district champs for sure. It's pretty much set that way anyway. But Centennial putting up a good fight, though, and losing by 10 in that one.
Yes, man. I mean, that's a great game right there, man. And it shows, man, that, hey, moving on forward, man, our Eagle boys, man, got a high chance moving forward, man, with all these other teams. But, again, Centennial, man, they're trying to keep their composure and not, get in too much of a gap playing the game. But, hey, La Cruz still remain at number 1.
Max Prep's poll had Centennial at 3rd in the poll this week. Hobbs at 4 after Hobbs had beaten him earlier. I don't know how that happened. Maybe strength of schedule kind of changed a little bit. 2nd down and 11 from the 29. We got a flag. I don't think they had the ball set or ready to play signal by the umpire. They're going to call it back and reset. Yeah, Hobbs beat Centennial by 11. Hobbs moved up a little bit, and then all of a sudden this week they dropped him down to 4th, which doesn't make a lot of sense. So that sounds like a bad logarithm on that Max Preps. Fake the handoff, pass, quick screen to the right side. Castaneda 35 and out at the 40 to stop the clock. But they got a flag on the field here. That might have been a first down, too, about 12, 13 yards for Castaneda, the right flat in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench. Still waiting to see the call here. Might be coming back, though. Still waiting for the Whitecap. Holding penalty against Carlsbad, so that's going to send him back 10. A lot more penalties against the Cavemen than the Eagles in this one. Clock stop with 1:41 left here in the fourth. Of course, La Cueva playing Cibola. They're one of the teams that can move up a little bit as a district champ. They have Cibola not very good this year, so that should be a win for La Cueva. Rio Rancho lost to Cleveland last night, so Cleveland the district champs, and Rio Rancho was a team that's going to be maybe in the top 7, 8, possibility of them coming here the second week in the quarterfinals. Second down and 12 from the 28. Shotgun to Munoz, 3-step drop back of the 20. He's going to fire on the curl route and throws into the field turf at the 35 on the left side, and shaking his head, the receiver, no chance to catch that one as it dug a hole in the carpet that time, intended for Eloy Lopez, incomplete.
And you know what? He got a great eye, man, just a little short on his receivers, you know. But, again, man, it kind of dug into the ground on that one.
Clock will stop on the incomplete, though, 1:35 remaining. Third down and 12. Once again from the 28, right hash. Two subs coming in for Carlsbad. Looks like part of the receiving corps possibly. Maybe going to light it up here. Braden Flores and Jaden Harper. They'll go with the trips left, receiver right. Hobbs have 4 in the box with some gaps between them. Munoz going to take some time, checking his receivers, make sure they're set. Shotgun, 3-step drop. Throws it to the line of scrimmage, caught by Wright, heads around the left side, 35, stretches it out to the 38, tried to slide into the first down marker. I think he's going to be short by about a yard. I'll have to wait and see on that one. About 11 yards for the catch and run there. That will be for Castaneda. And there's a flag, though. Oh, going against Carlsbad again. Was that a block in the back? It said from the spot of the foul, so I'm assuming that's a 10-yard block in the back penalty there. So 10 yards negates the pass play. It's going to be back to a third down and 11 now for the Cavemen. Not helping themselves with the yellow handkerchiefs. Clock at 1:26 now left in the fourth. 31-13. Did he get out of bounds on that one? Because it was a block in the back. That's a live ball. Now the clock's going to the end. That's what I was wondering about. Live ball foul, so once you get it reset, get the clock started. Trips right, receiver left. Again, 4 more on the front line for the Hobbs Eagle defense. Munoz definitely in a passing situation with 1:10 remaining. 4-step drop back of the 20, kind of dancing around. He's going to get swapped under, and he gets 2 guys, one on his legs and one over the top for the 1-2 combination. I think Mr. Meredith was one of those big boys on there, and let's see who else the other helper was on that one.
Mackey, man. Mackey got in there, man, and got him something great, and Meredith came in to help.
Of course, Meredith at 330 pounds. We know Mackey is at 255. We're talking 585 pounds on top of Munoz. And you also got your sack leader who broke a high school Hobbs High record with his 9.5 sacks tonight. That would, I guess, would count, give a half to both of them on that one. So that puts him up to 10 now.
Man, it's great right there. When them 2 guys coming at you like that and sacking you like that, especially as a quarterback, man, it's kind of scary, man. You can get hurt by getting hit by one of those guys, you know, especially Meredith, man, with his size and his skill, and Mackey coming in, swooping under. It just, I don't know.
Can you imagine a pancake block on top of you? It was flat right on top. That would be not too fun.
I wouldn't want to experience that.
So they lose. How many they give him on that one? It was 11, so that's back. Looks like about 11-yard loss on the play. Munoz not very happy after that one. Again, once again, you got big guys that can get through the line. We talked about that in the pregame show, too. 4th down and 23 for the Eagles. 1 minute left. Our 4th down and 21 for the Cavemen. 1 minute left in the game. Twins are making trips left, receiver right. 5-step drop for Munoz. Again, dancing around with the happy feet. Throws the post route, intercepted at the 40. And that'll be picked up for the Eagles by Adrian Mora. He did a little somersault as he makes the snag. That will be in Carlsbad territory as well. So Adrian Mora doing a great job picking that one off. as the Hobbs Eagles seal the deal on the INT. That will be the second interception of the game, a couple of fumbles. So Hobbs with 4 turnovers against this Carlsbad offense.
And that'll do it.
The first down for the Eagles, their last hurrah with 53 seconds left. Looks like the kneel down ready to come in here. French is right by near the center as he'll be making sure that his quarterback can kneel down, not have to worry about it. -1 on that one, who cares? For the quarterback, Madrano. Hobbs Eagles hopefully to get that 1 through 4 seed here on Sunday, more than likely 3rd or 4th. Definitely not 1st or 2nd. Las Cruces is the number 1 seed, being the district champs as well. I don't think they're going to move Cleveland down either. 2nd down and 11, and that'll be another kneel down. That should be the ball game. So the Hobbs Eagles up by 18. That should be the final, 31-13. 16 seconds at the tick off here, and those are the fans that waited to do some trick-or-treating. They'll get to do that here 9:40 p.m. I don't know if any houses will be open, but a good celebration regardless after Hobbs wins their final regular season game here at Watson, 31-13 over Carlsbad. We'll take a 3-minute break, come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on Cool 95.7 and on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Welcome back to the Hobbs Eagle postgame show at Watson Stadium. Final regular season game. Eagles victorious 31-13 over the Carlsbad Cavemen. Hobbs now improving to 8-2 on the season, 4-1 and make it 5-1 in district. Carlsbad dropping to 500, 5-5, and 500 in the district at 3-3. So pretty good shot. The Eagles will have at least a 3 or 4 seed at the state playoffs. Of course, that will start next week, which would mean a bye for Hobbs if they're in the top 4. Which they are right now. Max Preps has them at number 4, but of course they already beat Centennial. They had Centennial at number 3 for some reason, and that'll probably change after these games today. So that'll definitely be a good deal for Hobbs. Make that Carlsbad should probably get into the playoffs. We're between 9 and 11, I would think, in terms of the seedings. We did mention tonight that Las Cruces only beat Centennial by 10 points, but of course that was at the Field of Dreams. That's a big arch rival game, a lot of intensity in that one. Centennial was looking for the upset, but Las Cruces looks like they'll be the number 1 team and Cleveland at number 2. But a nice way to end this game. Kind of touchy at the beginning. Hobbs down 7-0. Did get ahead 17-7 at the half after a field goal. And the third quarter was kind of lackluster for both teams, and somebody trying to get ahead of the game there. Wright scored for the Eagles, Seamus Wright, for 5 yards. And then Carlsbad came back and got a 39 quarterback to receiver, back to the quarterback pass, make it 24-13. Hobbs still by 11, and then they tacked on the final score after that to get the victory here. But double-digit win against Carlsbad. We were kind of worried about them this season, and kind of a bit of a roller coaster team, but they've been about 500 until this point tonight.
Yeah, most definitely. Carlsbad definitely been, like you said, a roller coaster team. A team will run around and you don't know what to expect from them. Whether they come out here and play and take the dub, or whether they come out here and take the L, either or. But again, it's been a roller coaster, and I've been seeing them do great tonight and stuff like that on the offensive side. Just a little bit, a tad bit, and some things, man, they could have picked up, and some slack they could have picked up. But again, man, I just seen some great football tonight.
Of course, you mentioned this in the pregame show too. They got only a 1 point loss to Centennial earlier this year. Kind of a controversial play on a onside kick where Carlsbad jumped up and pulled it down and ran it in for a score, and they didn't go 10 yards and didn't give the chance for the receiver to catch it for the team they were playing there against Centennial. But still, they ended up losing that by 1 point. So they could play you tough, and we saw that in the first half. They came out quick, a sustained drive, 5 first downs. Got it in with a 1-yard run for the score. Hobbs came back quickly, though, and got their touchdown, and we went back and forth for a little bit. But second half, Eagles definitely owned it and got the win here. Looking at some of the numbers for Carlsbad, of course, Munoz, the quarterback, was hovering around 100, but then he got dropped back in the backfield a few times. It dropped underneath the century mark, 95 yards on 20 carries in this game. He did not score a touchdown in the contest, so did have some pretty big runs. His best was 20. He had some of 12, 12, 11, 11, another 12. Most of those coming in the first half. So he definitely was the guy to go to, at least in the running game. And a kind of a quiet night for that Wright kid. He had 13 carries for 29 yards. He got dropped in the backfield about 4 times in this contest. It hurt his numbers a little bit. He was their leading rusher, but Munoz tried to step up the best he could. But Hobbs getting penetration. Even from the big linemen, 300+, 285, etc., you see them getting through, and especially towards the end of the ball game, they really put some hurt on Munoz in the backfield.
And you got to clap it up for the quarterback, because the quarterback tried, When like you said, when you got big boys like that on the defensive line, coming at you, full of speed, trying to get in there and trying to attack you, trying to eat you, trying to bite you, whatever they can do to get you, man, sometimes it can be a lot of pressure on your behalf. But again, Munoz still tried to be able to get in and out, be able to see if his receivers was open, still move up the field. He was at first he was getting 20 after 20 and stuff like that. So he was still trying to move over the field. And again, one player or two players just can't do it all for the team. And again, I seen some great things by Wright too in the backfield. Again, like you said, we're not talking about Seamus Wright, but we're talking about Wright on the Cavemen on the Carlsbad side. And I see some great things from both of them. So Carlsbad, they did pretty good.
Yeah, Seamus Wright, a lot better game than this Brock Wright for Carlsbad. They did finish up 141 rushing yards in the ball game. Passing department, they ended up being a total of 9 of 17. 101 was their total there. They did Castaneda with 4 catches for 40 yards. Kind of a quiet night for him in the passing game, reception-wise, but he tried the best he could to keep him in it. 2 catches for Lopez for 12 yards and 2 for Leos for 10 yards. And the big one was the back-and-forth passing. They had the throw to the receiver in the backfield on the left side. He turned and fired it back to his quarterback, Munoz. down the sideline for 39 yards and a touchdown. So Munoz did score on that one. He did get one reception touchdown, which is usually the guy to throw those. But so that was a score for Carlsbad. Once again, they did have the 9 completions on 17 attempts, 101 yards. They finished unofficially at 242 total yards in this game, but their undoing were the turnovers. A couple of interceptions, a couple of fumbles, a couple of punts, 2 turnover on downs, and that is not a good recipe for a win on the road on the final regular season game where you're kind of knocking at the door at the playoffs. Hobbs, you had him on the ropes early, but the Eagles got that tug of war going, and they took over the second half.
Yes, man, and that's what they did, man, and they did it well, It took them a minute a little bit, to kind of get their head there, to be able to, just take it up and out and then push off and leave them, but they ended up getting there. Carlsbad, unfortunately, didn't be able to hold on to them, be able to keep them right there, keep it a stop, and Hobbs just got through.
9 penalties for Carlsbad in this one, only 3 penalties for the Hobbs Eagles. So that's probably the cleanest numbers we've seen all season in terms of the handkerchiefs.
Most definitely, man, and that's good. So you see improvement there, and that's a great way to be able to end the final game of this season with flags and penalties and handkerchiefs being kept in a ref's pocket, especially at this final game, because whatever you took at this final game of the season is what you're going to bring into the playoffs. So hopefully by them cleaning it up, overcoming that, approving that in the playoffs, hopefully it'd be the same way.
Well, Mr. Medrano, Junior Medrano, our quarterback, he did get 100 yards plus in this game. That is his 7th of the season, and that puts him in 5th place all time for Hobbs Eagle history in terms of players that have got to 100 yards in a game. That for the 7th time. Eddie Jackson, the last to do that in 2005. That's 20 years ago, 2 decades. So nice little number to move up. That's not a school record, but I'm saying he's moved up on the chart to number 5 in terms of that big 100 yards. 7 of them this season, and we've been seeing one after the other quite a few ball games.
Man, and that's great, man. And I was expecting some records being broken tonight too as well. And again, shout out to Medrano, man. He worked hard for it. He got there. He made sure to put the team on his shoulder when he had to. I mean, as a quarterback, a lot of times you cannot throw the ball. Sometimes your receivers are just not open. But he made sure to put on his speed boots and be able to move up the field, and that's how he be able to achieve that.
Also with the 100-plus rushing yards in this game, he needed just 73 to go up to 7th place on a single-season rushing numbers for him in that as well. That's a number that goes back to 1978. Roy Gomez had it, and he's now into that 7th-place slot to move Gomez down. But he got more than 73 for sure to move up the chart in the single-season rushing numbers as well. Looking at the officials on that, 18 carries, 125 yards for Medrano, so 125 is total. Did not get into the end zone or actually once on the 2-yarder. He had one earlier in the game where he dove towards the left pylon, flattened his body out, but he got hurt and came out for a couple of plays. And, of course, McCool went in for him, the sophomore, but that could have been his 2nd touchdown. But still, he always puts his body on the line. And, again, we saw another play where he tried to dive near the 1-yard line in the 4th quarter when the game was in hand pretty much. So you kind of get that big sigh of relief when you see him come off the turf. But he's, he's just like Wiley the Coyote. I mean, he gets flattened a few times, but he's coming back up quick.
And that's how you do it, You want to be able to them guys that, hey, man, I got so much fire. I got so much everything within me, man. I'm going to get back up no matter how it feels, no matter, how the collision may come together and stuff like that. And so by him getting up quickly like that, man, his hands were always in the game, and that's how you do it.
Seamus Wright, he was the number 1 right in this game, even though there was one for Carlsbad. 23 carries for 87 yards in this one, 2 touchdowns, 13-yard rush. First half, a 5-yard rush in the second half. That stop-and-go ability, cutting through traffic, zigzag, stuff he likes to do. Definitely a big part of this. And, of course, we've seen him having to deal with an ankle injury quite a few games earlier in the season. But hopefully he's on all cylinders now as we get ready for the playoffs.
Yes, man, most definitely. And, again, he had a great run. And his strategic moving up the field and everything, man, the people ahead of time, the teams ahead, man, they're going to have to watch out for that. Because if he can get an open hole and if he can find his blockers, to be able to move the right block, man, he's going to get up the field. So he's definitely a force to be reckoned with moving forward.
DeMarcus Hill, 6 carries for 22 yards. So, again, he's another threat in the backfield. Not a ton of yards in this game, but, again, another compliment in that backfield for the Hobbs Eagles. Medrano, Wright, Hill, a lot of different parts of the puzzle in this one. Zubia even had a nice reverse tonight. 1 carry for 7 yards for the Hobbs Eagles. Unofficially, 248 rushing yards for the game for the Eagles. Again, a lot of guys getting a piece of that leather football there in the running department. Passing a game for the Hobbs Eagles, they were 9 of 21, so not the best completion percentage in the season, but they did manage to get Justice French, all 4 of his catches in the second half. Not big, long ones, but 4 for 28. Definitely kept the Eagles on some drives moving along there. They did have Seamus coming out of the backfield for a catch for 9. Also, Zubia a catch for 5, and Hill had 1 for 5. One was called back on a penalty. He had another one for 5, but unfortunately he was not able to keep that one. And Beatty didn't have any. He had 1 catch and got back to line of scrimmage, but nothing else. They threw a lot of balls to him, a lot of too long of passes, and he got PI'd against him a few times on the defense for Carlsbad. But really putting his body out there, got knocked down once, came back and tried to kick a field goal on the next play when he had a hurt leg for a second on the thigh. But again, I believe I was talking to the sports editor, of course, Jason Farmer with the Hobbs Sun. I think he had to have one more PA or PAT to be 4th on the list for all-time PAT points for the Hobbs Eagles. I think he got that tonight. I'll have to double-check on that one. But, again, definitely a force to be reckoned with that leg of his, and he's a great receiver. A lot of opportunities to try to catch balls that were way up over his head or way past him, and one near the back of the end zone that he tried to leap up there, but just couldn't bring it down. A good chance for him to try that, but it didn't work sometimes. Amron Wheeler's brother, of course, the receiver who caught a pass against Clovis a few weeks ago for a touchdown. Addix Wheeler had one tonight. He had one for 4 yards in the ball game. So again, Hobbs 9 of 21 for a total of the passing game. Where did I lose my numbers here? Whoa. Here we go. Was it 51 yards? I think it was supposed to be triple digits. No, just 51 in this game tonight. Just shy of 300 yards of offense, so 299. But you get the victory. That's the most important about it. You also win in the first downs, too. 20 first downs compared to 13 for the Carlsbad Cavemen. Again, we also mentioned only 3 penalties for 30 yards.
Yeah, man. And again, hey, as long as you can throw the ball and be able to get your receiver some of the ball and everything like that. Unfortunately, like you said, some balls was overthrown, especially when Beatty was going out for them long routes, them long corner post routes, them sevens as they call it. There was a little bit overthrown, and one point that he got caught up in his footsteps, trying to run the route, there like that, where it caused the hamstring, all that, pulling that horse in your leg and stuff like that to happen. But again, we got some pass throwing to our receivers and everything, but again, man, at least they made some plays and made some moves to get upfield with even short screen routes and able to get up. So that's pretty good. I love to see that tonight.
Also, some great turnovers for the Eagles. Defense, Reza getting a fumble recovery. Hernandez as well. Ruiz with an interception and Moore with the interception. So hats off to those guys. And let's not forget about Jeremiah Mackey. 1.5 sacks tonight. He needed just 1 to be the all-time sack leader for Hobbs Eagle history. He got 1.5 as he teamed up with Mike Meredith on that last half one where they both body slammed the quarterback Munoz.
Man, them guys right there was getting in, man. That's what you call some hungry guys right there. And when you hungry like that, you're able to get in and make plays like that and be able to make records. And so, man, shout out to Meredith and shout out to Mackey.
Final score again, 31-13. The Hobbs Eagles rack up the win. Again, improved to 8-2, 5-1 in district. That will hold them into that second spot in the district and should get them a top 4 seed, 1 through 4 there, more likely 3 or 4. But, again, that would be a bye next week, no game, and then they play in the quarterfinals the following week. So we're going to be waiting until Sunday to find out the winner of those top 4 slots to see what the Hobbs Eagles will get a chance to do next week. We already know Las Cruces will be the district champs for sure. They beat Centennial tonight. We do know that La Cueva is playing, that's one of the bubble teams. We're kind of wondering what's going to happen with them with being a district champ. They're playing Cibola this weekend. They should win that one. Cibola is kind of down towards the bottom half of the district, about halfway down there, but kind of a bigger district. But that, of course, La Cueva is already the winner of the district. The question is how much power are they going to give them in terms of moving up in the ranks a little bit. I don't think it's going to go as high as 4th, so I think we're going to be okay there being with the win tonight here at Watson Stadium. But that's one of the question marks. Rio Rancho getting beat by Cleveland last night puts him in kind of a little bit of a dire straits. They might be on the other end of our bracket. They might be coming here if they win their first round game next week.
Yes, man, it's going to be a game to see, man, moving forward, man. It's playoff time, so you know what that means. It's game time. It's time to have your head on because ain't no, lose game and then come back next week and come back next Friday. You're going to have to really move forward so you can be able to make it to the state championship.
As of tonight, the Max Preps poll, which will probably turn tomorrow or be changed as of Saturday once the games are in. Las Cruces 1, Cleveland 2, Centennial 3. That's going to change. Hobbs 4, which should move up. Volcano Vista 5, Rio Rancho 6, La Cueva 7, Piedra Vista at number 8, and Cibola at number 9. Of course, we already mentioned Cibola will be playing La Cueva this weekend. And the other teams that are left in the mix, the 12 that will have a shot, Carlsbad comes in at number 10, so they're going to be down towards the bottom more than likely. Los Lunas, who's kind of had a downer season compared to last year, they are 11th. And then Alamogordo from our district at number 12. That means there could be 4 teams from our district in the playoffs next week.
Wow, man, that's going to be great, man. It's going to be exciting to see, and we are ready, man. It's time. It's game time. We are here. The playoffs are here. We're going to move forward, and I'm telling you, man, there's going to be some games moving ahead.
Just a reminder, we'll have to wait and see about any games next week because that hasn't been decided yet. So if we do have any playoff games to speak of, that will be on the radio, Cool 95.7. Definitely going to be a home game if we end up having to stay here with a 5 or bigger seed. That would be we would be able to provide video on that one. If we have to go to Albuquerque or some other markets, there's a possibility that will not happen. But hopefully we'll have the bye and not have to worry about it. So definitely be listening to our Cool 95.7 and check our websites out, Cool 95.7 Facebook page. We'll keep you updated on that one. And let me go quickly through our sponsors for the season and hopefully into the playoffs as well. Lee County State Bank, Eastern New Mexico University, Lasco Construction, NMR Pipeline, Outlaw Sports and Grill, the Eunice Pump and Supply, Hobbs Express, JBW Solutions, SunGuard Precision, the Bel Air Bowl, Devon Energy, Badger, Master Plumbers, Forest Tire, TDS, and Divine Energy Services. Once again, the Hobbs Eagles victorious tonight, 31-13 over Carlsbad, heading to the playoffs, hopefully in 2 weeks, not next week, but 2 weeks with a bye. Thanks to Sovereign Anthony, back at the station, Tiffany Stuber and Evie Stuber. We love to have you with us with Hobbs Eagle football as the season continues. You're listening to No Mark Broadcasting. We will hopefully see you in 2 weeks as we get ready for a quarterfinal game at Watson Stadium. Have a great Halloween out there and be safe on the roads.
You're clear.